Get ready, because this is the Metal Hammer of Doom Jukebox. Hit it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, your man, daily reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich, and this is the Metal Hammer of Doom Jukebox. Hit it. And over there, there we go.
Me,
baby. Ladies and gentlemen, my brother from another mother, the legendary songwriting machine himself. He writes the songs, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he does.
I don't know about that.
He prompts the songs.
There you go. That's what I like to hear.
And AI does the trick. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the trickster, the merry mixer, the salt liquor.
Salt liquor.
Ladies.
Pig sticker.
The overtime worker. The clam shooker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've shook some clams before.
I bet you have, Big Daddy. The bratty submissive. Ladies and gentlemen.
Proven.
Jesse Starcher, how do you do, sir?
Oh, Mark Radulich. It is good to be back here. Going to be talking about some ministry tonight. Ministry.
Yes, sir.
You know what? I was looking at my calendar, watching the news too. I think there's an election coming up. Isn't it time for ministry to put out an album?
Is there? Hadn't noticed.
Yeah. This is prime ministry right here, baby.
Jesse, you and I talked before the show. And I said, okay, here's what we're going to talk about. And then we're going to do this segment. And then we're going to do this segment and play this video. And then we're going to pull on our wieners. And then we're going to have it, and then we're going to play another video. Right. And then we're going to have a giant homo pile. Because why aren't we any different than my son and his friends, his 10 to 12-year-old friends? Let me tell you, Jesse, I'm sitting here minding my own business. I'm trying to stay out of things, Jesse. I'm trying to stay out of my children's mother's business.
Okay.
Trying to stay away from the children's mother's partner. And I'm just letting things happen. I took my kids out Friday. And then, I was at the computer and I was doing the editing. And the partner came home with the son and the son's friend. And the next thing I know, I hear a loud crash, which sounds like the Kool-Aid man trying to come through my wall.
Oh, shit.
And Melissa, I call her Melissa because I'm not allowed to call her anything else anymore. And Melissa opens my door daintily. She opened it. And she says, I don't want you to be alarmed. But that loud crash you heard was your son slipping as he tried to create, and she said, and here's the quote, a homo pile.
Really? That's a thing.
You didn't engage in homo piles when you were between the ages of 10 and 13 with your other male friends, Jesse?
Today is March 11th, 2024, and that is the first time I've heard that phrase.
Homo pile.
Yes.
In the year of our Lord, 2024, you've only come about the homo pile on this podcast.
I know Gomer pile. I don't want the piles.
But I eat Taco Bell, I make a pile.
I've never heard of the term homo pile. I mean, clearly I'm getting the context clues as to what happened. I assume there was some kind of like jumping on everybody all at once. I assume, and that's happened in my house. It was not called that. So
you have two sons.
Yes.
They have to be between the ages of like 10 and 15 by this point.
Correct. Yep.
How many shirtless homopiles have you observed?
Not a single one.
Okay. Jesse, I don't believe you.
Well, let me tell you something. Caleb,
maybe they didn't call it a homopile.
I know this. It's not something that these two brothers are. There's very little contact between these two because you got to think Caleb is bigger than me. You know,
Yeah.
I'm
5'9". Your son's the size of the Great Khali. I remember.
He's 5'11", 5'10", 5'11". He's a big dude.
Jesus
So
Christ.
yeah, he's fucking 14 too. He just turned 14. And Colton, who is 10, is like a third of his size. So
Yeah.
if there is a pile, Colton is going to the hospital.
If there's a pile, it's more like Gulliver's Travels.
Yeah.
Your poor 10-year-old son's a Lilliputian.
Yes. But Caleb has had some kids over before, and things have come close to getting broken. As a matter of fact, just before you continue your story, Caleb's birthday was last month, and we had some of his friends over. Now we've lived here since 2018. I loved living in this place because we had a basketball hoop on the garage. Old time. I mean, it's been there, I think, since like the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be damned if one of them kids jumped up, touched the rim, and pulled the motherfucking thing off. Like, ripped the rim completely off of the backboard.
Was there another kid next to him going, "We going to Sizzler, we going to Sizzler"?
None of that was going on. I was sitting down here, of course, I was working on probably editing a podcast, and I heard one of the kids open up the door, very similar to Melissa, going, "We have a problem." And
that's never
nothing
good follows that. Nothing ever good happens after we have a problem.
I'm honestly surprised that Caleb did not explode because he loves playing basketball. That basketball hoop is no more. It's not like I can just go hang it back up. It's ripped in half. Like the board is still connected to the back of the hoop, and the hoop is laying on the ground, and there's some board up here. So I can't fix that without getting a whole new board. Anyway, so no homo piles, but you know, we got the rims coming down here. The rims are being brought down at the Starcher household. They're ruckus.
Oh, your sons bring the motherfucking ruckus.
Yeah. So, okay. So what, did something get broke or somebody get hurt?
No, I mean, Jonas slipped, but Jonas has all the balance and he has all the he has all the balance and delicacy of a bull in a china shop.
Right.
So, you know, I guess like the sound I heard was just him falling, but it's not like he was going to come through the wall because my bedroom shares a wall with the living room.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No
apparently
holes
there was
in the wall, nothing like that. That's good.
Apparently there was a lot of like mildly gay shenanigans going on in the house this weekend. At one point, I went out there, and again, Jonas is 9 going on 10. It'll be 10 in April. Trey is somewhere around the same age, plus or minus. And Trey brought his best friend, and his best friend is a larger boy. Larger. Not your son. Me.
Yeah. I got you.
Okay.
Girth.
Yeah. And I walked out there a couple of times. They were not wearing shirts. I'm not saying they were engaged in mildly gay, activity. I'm just saying they weren't wearing any shirts. And I'll tell you, nothing makes you question your life choices like walking through your living room full of half-naked boys. Half-naked tween boys, Jesse. I don't mean to make it sound weird, but it's a little weird.
Was it hot? I mean, was it like as in warm in the house or something? I mean, you're in Florida,
it's gonna get hot in here for you to take off your clothes if you're like incessantly roughhousing.
Yeah,
and that's what I wanted to ask you. When you were a kid, did you, okay, so you don't engage in the homo piles, whatever. In the year of our Lord 2024, you should be an ally of the LGBTQI community there, sir.
I got a homo pile at least once a week, just so I can say that I have.
just to stay woke.
So my gay friends will not disown me.
Thank you. We have so very little of you. But no, I mean, like, I absolutely, in all seriousness, I absolutely remember, like, as a kid, it was funny to do stuff like that, like Pants a Friend, or like like Boys Roughhouse, and some of the roughhousing is like borderline gay. So, like, I laugh. I mean, I'm making a bit out of it. I'm doing a joke. I'm telling a story, but like, I definitely remember stuff like that from when I was a kid too. And I can't be alone here.
Well, you might be. No, I honestly,
you're very caught up on the borderline gay stuff. It's like, I ain't copping to no borderline nothing, Radulich.
No, it was more.
You're not gonna get me.
It's more along the lines of I just didn't hang out with a whole lot of kids my age,
Okay.
or at least roughhouse with a bunch of kids. There was, my goodness, I would say there were a couple times where playing basketball, like, we got a little rough, but I mean, we weren't taking our shirts off and going, and that wasn't something.
You didn't play shirts for skins? Come on now.
No, we didn't actually. Well, I maybe we did. I don't know, but yeah, man. I mean, when I was a kid, I think it was more a personal thing for me. Like, I was always afraid of getting into like a fight, so I didn't want to get. I seriously was, and I've instilled that in my own children as well. Like, guys, don't start something, or at least if you're going to get upset and something bad can happen.
Starcher is Belarusian for don't want none, don't start none.
I don't want somebody getting hurt accidentally and then getting mad at me. How's that? I would feel bad if somebody got mad at me because I hurt them. Here's actually, and I think I've shared this story with you before. When I was I would say probably 12.
By the way, it's because of conversations like this that this show and this show only, I cop like 4 or 5 segments out of. Every other show, it's like I find 10 solid minutes and I'm done. Throw the show in the garbage. This show, I have to cut up into 8 segments for TikTok. How do I not post? Haven't we all been in a homo pile on TikTok?
Right. There was a situation when I was probably 12 years old, 11 years old, where I was roughhousing with a kid. We were playing wrestling, and I accidentally I hurt the kid, and we were at his. It was the kid. The kid's mom was my babysitter.
I was gonna say,
I'm really
just fucking overwhelmed with guilt, running to the nearest Catholic church.
That his dad was about to kill me, and his dad was grabbed a hold of me and was yelling in my face. I think that, talk to a therapist here. I'm sure that traumatized me in some way.
Yeah.
And from there on out, I was like, I don't, I didn't want to ever engage in something that I accidentally hurt somebody. Now I took karate a couple years, like between 15 and 16 years old. And so before I got a job, and, it's kind of tough to be a pacifist and learn, then start actually, going to tournaments and stuff like that in order to, and doing karate. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that that kind of stuff ruined the whole horseplay for me. So no homo piles over here, because if I was involved in a homo pile, I'd be frightened to death. I would squish somebody and get, their dad would come after and kill me.
That's the problem in a homo pile.
Man.
Not an accidental sodomization.
I did not mean to smash you, sir. Smash!
It was the weirdest game of Smash or Pass I've ever been in. Smash or Pass. And he's smoking. Anyway,
smoking.
Spider. Everything's a schmo. So yeah.
As long as nobody got hurt. That's the main thing.
Yeah, not that. Well, I noticed my son had a scratch on his cheek today, and I'm like, "Who hurt you, my baby boy?" And it was like the dog. I'm like, "Get away from me! Be gone." Jesse,
Mark,
you like sports?
I do like sports.
You used to do a podcast called The Pigskin Pick'em, which wasn't about barbecue.
I did. I had like I don't know. It was a smattering of episodes, we'll say.
Yeah, used to do a football podcast. I think you used to also be on the Cheap Seats with Jason, right?
That's for sure. Yes, me and Jason Teasley, first podcast I think I was ever on.
No,
regularly, yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
you weren't on the Metal Hammer of Doom regularly before that?
I was probably listening and then hopping in, but no, I think
Okay.
me and Teasley cut our teeth on the cheap seats.
Okay, and source material was after cheap seats?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. Okay. Who knew? I paid very little
Hey,
attention.
it's your own network, Mark.
Here's my
You need
account
to know.
information. I don't care what you
Whatever you
the hoi
wanna-
polloi do. Make me
Please.
some content. Jesse.
Mm.
Do you take your vast fortune that you make from the 97 hours of overtime that you work and think, how can I make this money work for me?
Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm gonna get get to listen to you talk about some betting. Is that gonna happen? All right.
Oh, Jesse, what a weekend I had. When I first started sports betting, I was hot. I was on a hot streak, you know. I won money on the Anthony Joshua fight, lost money on Deontay Wilder, the bum. And then I got bit by the bug because I don't do anything half-assed. I'm either all in, Jesse, or I'm not in. Okay. I don't half-ass anything.
I understand.
So, you know, I can't just like something a little bit. I got to become stupidly obsessive about it.
Right. Right.
So I get into now through the Seminole tribe here in Florida and the Hard Rock. We have a sports betting app. You know, we can't do DraftKings and shit like that, but we have our own sports betting app, which they were advertising at least around December of last year. So that's when I got into it. And I got bit by the sports bug. And because I'd won a couple of bets early on, you know, with the boxing and everything, I was like, oh, and it's football season. Oh, I'll place a bet here or there. You know, I'll bet on some favorites. It'll be fine. And I realized betting on favorites doesn't make you any money. So like, I put $40 on the Kansas City Chiefs. They won. I won $45. What the fuck? And then I discovered that if you parlay, if you bet on more than one game or more than one match or anything at a time, you can win big money even if you bet on
big money.
Yeah.
Big money.
If you do like a 3-game or 3-match parlay on underdogs, you can buy a house. But if you pick favorites, you can still doubles your monies.
Right.
So if you're wondering why I'm occasionally doing this, it's because I got $60 on the Phoenix Suns over the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight. What do you think about that?
Oh man, the Cavs are hot, buddy. I don't know. I do not know.
4 minutes in the fourth quarter, and the Suns have taken the lead, 110-107, and they are currently the -1100 favorites.
Underdog.
Favorites.
Suns are the favorites.
Yeah, negatives are favorites.
Okay. All right. Well,
you know how that works.
Sure.
I am like so this weekend, but I took a break for a while because like I was on that little bit of a hot streak, and then it was like, oh, I'm put a little money on this, put a little money on that. You know, I'm gonna spread it around. I was betting on hockey. I got stupid about it. I was like, oh, look, Afghani basketball, and like put money on that. Like I'll bet on some favorites here and turn my money around and I'm treating this sports betting app like it's stocks.
Man,
man.
I'm
gonna put money on this, I'm gonna make money, and I'm gonna reinvest somewhere else.
Yeah.
It did not.
Yeah.
I had an epic losing streak. I lost a bet on whether the sun would come up the next day. That's how bad I got. So because I am a responsible-ish adult, I had to stop betting for a while.
Yeah, you did. So you like straight up cold turkey done.
Yeah. And occasionally I would have a dalliance with a pretty bet. I would say, ooh, you seem nice. You seem like you wouldn't want to isolate me from my friends. you don't
Those are the good kind of bets.
You don't seem like the narcissistic kind of bet that I'm used to. You seem like a normal bet. And I would lose everything, Jesse, because it turns out the pretty ones that love bomb you in the beginning always turn out to be the monsters in the end.
No.
And I'm only talking about betting.
I was going to say this is going somewhere. This doesn't sound much like wagers anymore.
I'm talking about betting. This isn't a euphemism for something else in my life.
Okay. All right.
Anywho, welcome to the Wildly Uncomfortable podcast. We've also considered naming it casual misogyny. Just getting rid of the Radulich Broadcasting Network, getting rid of the individual formats, and just this whole thing now is the casual misogynist.
Nice.
By the way, we're
Very
20
nice.
minutes into this. Hey, we're reviewing eventually Ministry Hopium for the Masses. Stick
Hopium
around.
For the masses. There you go.
Yeah, in case you're wondering, we are eventually going to get to this review, but Jesse and I have to kibitz first. We also have to wait for Robert Cooper. Anyway, so just to kind of finish this out. So the Anthony Joshua Francis Ngannou fight was this weekend. And Big Bang Zhang took on Joseph Parker, and then there was another title fight that was third from the top. So I did a 3-fight parlay, Jesse Starcher, on Vargas, Joseph Parker, and Vargas was the underdog. Nick Ball was the favorite. Nick the Wrecking Ball. He was like the size of Caleb. No, of Colton. He was the size of Colton.
Oh, a little guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, Big Bang Zhang was the size of Caleb.
Oh boy.
Different fight. Anyway. So Nick Ball was the favorite. Vargas was the underdog, but I bet on Vargas because he had the title. And then I bet on Joe Parker because I've seen a Big Bang Zhang fight before. And Big Bang Zhang has two kinds of fights, Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
He either knocks you into another dimension, or it's the most slowest shit, boring thing you've ever seen, and it maybe ends like in a split majority, a split draw. Yeah. So, but the last fight he had, he knocked somebody dead. So so that's why he got the name Big Bang Zhang. So he's he's the favorite here. But Joseph Parker just beat Deontay Wilder in a fight that Deontay Wilder didn't really show up for. So Joseph Parker on a hot streak. And I'm like, all right, I think Joseph Parker is a smart fighter. He's no dummy. He's going to go in there against Big Bang Zhang, and he's going to win this thing. And you know what? On the first fight, it was a draw. So I got partial credit for it. It became a push, I believe, is what Robert told me. And then Joseph Parker won his fight. So then it came down to Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou. And have you seen this knockout?
No.
Oh, my God. In the second round, Anthony Joshua hit Francis Ngannou so hard, his soul came out playing a harp.
That
Jesus
bad, huh?
Christ. If it had been any more cartoonish, like you could see the lump come out of his head. There was stars.
Birds are circling around.
But they were like, Chrissy, wake up. Chrissy, wake up. They gave him smelling salts. His eye said no sale. It was wow. But the punch itself, I always tell my son, I was like, don't look at real boxing like it's Rocky. It's not like it's in the movies. Boxing is a very real, very dangerous sport, and the movies are made to look entertaining, and even boxing in the movies is made to look entertaining. You can't look at a movie and expect it to look like real life, or real life to look like, okay, well, this one did. Anthony Joshua hit Francis Ngannou with fucking Roadhouse. Like, Jesse, I don't know if you read comic books at all.
I do every once in a while.
Okay. I don't. Do people know that about you? That you're a big comic book
guy? They might.
Okay.
They might.
Welcome to the Heavily Sarcastic Podcast. So like in the comic books, right? Like they'll draw like Superman or like Batman punching Superman, and this is like wah, and you see Superman's face, wah, one of those. That's what it looked like. It was like the most perfect Hollywood punch I've ever seen.
Wow.
And this thing hit Francis Ngannou, and Francis Ngannou lost math for the next 3 years. That motherfucker is going to say 2 times 2 is shoes for a while.
So who'd you have your money on?
Anthony Joshua.
Okay.
So I got credit for 2 out of the 3 fights. So I won my parlay, and I turned $40 into $150.
Not bad.
So the next day, so we just got a message from Coop saying he has not gotten off work yet. So when I'm done telling this story, we will start.
We shall commence.
We shall commence. Yeah. So when I took my $150 out because I needed it to actually to pay bills with, but I put a little money back in, little money back in.
Yeah.
Right. And I called up my buddy Robert Winfrey, and I said, "Yo, Robert Winfrey, what are your picks?"
There you go. See, I was just about to ask. You are involving, or at least discussing, some stuff with Winfrey in regards to these fights.
I am now. I haven't before. Like I did the boxing one all by myself. I follow enough of this to know what's what in the butt.
Now look,
yes.
I know I know Winfrey, he's talked openly about it's LDS, right?
Yes.
So I assume like he can't do that. That is something that
I don't
do.
think he would if he I don't even think he would if he could.
That's fine.
So I said, I said, yo, baby, what's your picks? And he gave me his picks. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put money on this one. And it was 2 underdogs and 1 favorite in the top 3 fights. And he was right on the money. Another 3-fight parlay turned $40 into $360.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Money, baby. You know what?
We're in the money. We're in the money.
Big money.
Yeah. Well, now you know. Now you've got.
Now I got the hookup.
Yeah, exactly. You and both you and Winfrey discussed UFC and MMA for quite a while. So I know you guys both know your shit. But I just saw the post that Winfrey made about how he was so excited. He only lost like 2 things when he was sitting there or keeping track. I'm like, fuck, man. That's the guy to talk to then.
He's keeping track of his picks. So I told him, yo, baby, what's your picks?
Yeah.
And he gave me his picks and I won big money. And I told him just like, hey, man, you just made me a cool 360. I can take my daughter out for dinner now. I can afford lunch this week.
I can go to the movies.
It's a sad state of my life. I can afford a tank of gas.
Woo!
And he was like, all right, if we're going to keep doing this, you have to start cutting me in. So now I got my man on the inside. I got to, if I win some large dough, I got to cut him a slice.
All right.
So my son is like, Dad, if I do a list of chores, will you buy me this $15 game? And I said, hold on, son. I got $40 because I couldn't leave well enough alone. I got $40 on the Phoenix Suns over the Cleveland Cavaliers, of which they are currently winning by 2 baskets with less than a minute in the quarter. If I lose this fucking bet, I'll punch this screen. I'm telling you right now, this podcast is done.
I think Cleveland hit like a long 3 to win a game against the Celtics last week. So their luck is, I say they're hot, but I think they used all their luck up there with that shot. So most likely.
If you just cursed me, Jesse, I'm coming to Cleveland. I'm coming to fucking Marietta.
Go to Cleveland. Go to Cleveland.
Go to Cleveland. I'm gonna go. I'll meet you in Cleveland, motherfucker.
I'll see you there.
I won't be there.
I'll just wait by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I certainly will be there. Certainly,
I'll meet you at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Anyway, so I told my son, I'm like, if the Phoenix Suns win, I turn my my $30 into $60, and I will be able to afford you your game, and I will be able to afford my daughter's haircut.
Oh,
I got to get my daughter a haircut.
All right.
This is the sad state of my life, Jesse, that my bills are now dependent on whether or not I have luck in games I don't follow. Which leads me to my final story. So I was sharing this story at dinner tonight. Melissa made breakfast for dinner, and we were all there. Chris was there. The kids were there. And I'm telling them about all the gambling because Jonas asked me about the game. And Chris says to me, he goes, why don't you bet on games you actually know anything about?
Okay.
And I went, why don't you fucking give me your picks? Big mouth. Eat my food. Use my water. My electric.
Give me your picks.
I run around this house, turn off all the lights because you fucking think we live in a concert venue of some kind. Gonna have all the lights on. Why don't you man up and give me your picks? And so he got me to put $25 on the Islanders tonight against the Kings. And he actually walked me through why he thinks they're going to win tonight. So if that bet wins, then I got $25 turns into $50. And I told him I would buy him a cool Monster energy drink.
Whoa.
Yeah, big money.
Nice. I wouldn't know shit about hockey.
He's a huge hockey person. Like I trust that much about him.
25 seconds left, according to Google here.
Yeah.
I better
we must be in a commercial or something because it's been like 25 seconds for the last half hour.
Oh, man.
But yeah, it's 113 to 111.
Okay. I'd love to know who's got the ball. I'm sure the Suns do.
I don't even know where you can watch this tonight.
Oh boy,
this is exciting podcasting.
Long,
we're literally doing
25 seconds,
and Jesse and I are like live streaming a fucking basketball game.
Let's go Cavs.
All right. Do we want to tell more stories, or should we get actually into this fucking podcast?
I'm ready to get into whatever you're ready to get into.
Oh, I'm ready. Let's start. Let's get into this homo pile.
Let it get into it. Get it to winning it. All right, go for it.
All right. Well, Jesse, I've been talking for an hour.
You have.
Without stopping.
Congratulations. Good job.
I am now being assaulted verbally. So I'm going to turn the show over to you, pal.
Okay. All right.
And I want you to tell me about this video that we're about to witness.
Well, look, I thought it would be fun to celebrate 31 years of Sepultura's Refuse Resist.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have a little soft spot for Sepultura, and I thought we would watch a little. We watched a few of their videos actually before. Now I don't, if from what I saw, this may be a concert footage versus news footage type deal. So,
my man reading a newspaper.
I think we're, it's not going to be a whole lot, but I thought let's just take a little listen here. I mean, it's hard to imagine this has been over 30 years now that this got released. And I wasn't a huge Sepultura fan back in the day. I've become more of one now. But 30 years, man. 1993 is when this dropped. So were you on the Sepultura bandwagon back then?
I came to Sepultura through Chaos AD, and then I had to go back and listen to Beneath the Remains and all of that. But Chaos AD, because of like Refuse Resist, Biotech has Godzilla, which is awesome. And then Roots came out after that, and I was all about Roots, and then the band broke up. Or fucking like half the guys left the band and
went here,
formed their own thing. Yeah, they formed Soulfly. And then like they brought in Derek, and so like I would actually still continue to see Sepultura for years on after that with Derek in the band. They weren't bad, but it was not the same. And I dug on Soulfly for a really long time. But Chaos AD, Refuse Resist, that was a shit back in the day. Like I was telling somebody, telling my new girlfriend, I always have a new girlfriend. Every show I have a new girlfriend, by the way. So how often we do this show, by the way, or how often I have a new girlfriend, whichever's worse.
Whichever. It's a weekly show, Mark.
I don't want to send this to her because it's just like, oh shit, when are you doing another one of these? I'd like this relationship to last a little longer. Honey, I only do it once a month. Your month is coming. Your month is coming.
Just keep track of the Metal Hammer of Doom jukebox, please.
I was telling her like Pantera was responsible for my metal awakening, but like right behind Pantera was Sepultura, Typo Negative, Biohazard, Life of Agony. I almost forgot him. Life of Agony. That whole like Roadrunner crew, of bands and something that weren't Roadrunner, obviously. But yeah, Sepultura was definitely part of that.
Not your metal awakening. When would you say that occurred?
Probably, I would say between like 91 and 92.
Okay.
I think I've told you the story. Like I grew up in an all black neighborhood, and then I moved to the white neighborhood. When I moved to the white neighborhood, I was 12. And I surely got introduced to like rock and metal through. I was in 6th grade when I moved into the white neighborhood. So I would say from 7th grade on, 7th and 8th grade, I got slowly introduced to it. And like my fucking record collection was just wildly eclectic. It had like
imagine, man.
Guns N' Roses, Paula Abdul, and Two Live Crew. Because I was not washed as a child with what I was listening to. So Dad was just like, pick any record you want. I want the one with the asses. All right, yes, son, please. Let's go. You got a good report card. You can have asses. So, isn't that how you do your kids? Caleb,
all the time.
You get a good report card, he gets asses.
Oh yeah, here you go. Here's your subscription to Pornhub for the week.
Make good use of it. Anyway, so yeah, so I would say I got introduced to Pantera on the Vulgar Display of Power album when that first came out, and then I got to see them live, and that was my very first concert ever. It was Pantera and Sacred Reich. And then very shortly after that, it was Pantera again, but this time with Crowbar. And we just went to the races from that point on. So I didn't get to see Sepultura, I think, when they were with Max and all them. I only saw them with Derek, and it was after I had moved to Florida in 2005.
Okay. All right.
If I remember correctly. All right, so here we go. See if I don't blow my ears out on this. This is Refuse, Resist from Sepultura. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
That guy was just shopping and the tank showed up. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, we're going to get a lot of concert footage, and then the cops are going to be there. Oh, man.
Oh!
These are my feet. These are the boots that I wear.
Yeah, climb that tank.
It's like, I was just getting groceries, damn it. Don't run over my groceries.
I won my bet.
Game over?
Yeah, 117, 111.
111.
Woo!
Oh,
All right,
wow.
I can actually pay attention to the podcast now. I was sweating there for a minute. Chaos AD. So I like this video because it's like, here's us the band, here's some concert footage, here's real life footage of people protesting. We'll just cycle through these.
Yes. Yeah. There is, only.
Refuse. Jesse. Does refusing and resisting reconcile with your pacifist ways?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we the thing is that you just do it quietly. That's the way you do it.
When Mindy's like,
refuse
Jesse,
quietly.
wash the dishes. You say, Mindy, I refuse.
I have a podcast.
I resist.
I have a podcast. Or no, wait, the more manly thing to do, most men, I have to go poop. And then
There
you
you go.
don't. There,
I told the coworker today I had to go see a man about a horse.
you don't have to do that right then. There's other pressing matters. My goodness.
Yeah.
There is some violence
Definitely
happening.
throwing a Molotov cocktail at a tank.
Yeah.
It's a bad day at the office when you're carrying your riot shield and someone's throwing live
Yeah.
fire at you.
Right. That ain't gonna. Shield's only gonna go so far. It's gonna get pretty hot pretty quick.
Yeah. Resist. You ever hear the Nail Bomb album?
Can't say that I have.
Members of Sepultura and I forget who else, but it's the shit. Go check out. I mean, it might be members of Sepultura and members of Fudge Tunnel.
Okay.
You know what Fudge Tunnel is, Jesse, right? Has to do with the homo pile.
Had a feeling. I mean, it definitely isn't. Definitely isn't something that you go. It could be a franchise that you go to after the homo pile. Let's go to the Fudge Tunnel. Everybody, we're done with the homo pile. Let's go to the Fudge Tunnel, and everybody climbs in for some ice cream.
Are you insinuating that like Homo Pile and Fudge Tunnel are the names of retail establishments?
Dave and Buster's, Homo Pile,
I once saw Homo
Fudge
Pile.
Tunnel.
I once saw Homo Pile and Fudge Tunnel open up for Metallica in 1989 for the Nassau Coliseum.
Perfect. All right, good stuff right there. Refuse, resist, celebrating 30 years plus of that. So.
All right. Oh my God, 30. Oh God, we're so old.
I know, dude. I know.
30 years.
That's hard to believe. We just watched that and that was the shit. It's still the shit. But man, 93.
1993, huh? Oof. I was a junior in high school.
15, buddy.
Yeah.
I was 15 in May. 14 probably when that dropped. So
I think I'm going to be 50. I'm going to be 49. I'm 40. How old am I going to be? I'm going to be 48 this year, which means in 2 years, I'm going to be 50 years old, Jesse.
All right, dude.
At some point, you got to give up the homo pile. I'm just saying.
Sometimes you just got to crawl out and call it a day.
At some point, you're too old for the homo pile. It's no longer adorable.
No, you're just an old bearded man fucking.
Not to say that doesn't have its value from what the girlies tell me.
Oh shit. Hey, that's got its value.
Speaking of old men fucking, Ministry.
Oh man. Oh man.
King of transitions.
Yes, sir.
All right. So Ministry, as you may have heard, is an industrial metal band founded in Chicago, Illinois in 1981 by producer, singer, and instrumentalist and all-around curmudgeon. Al
Wacky
Jourgensen.
man.
An all-around whack-a-doodle. Al Jourgensen. Originally a synth-pop outfit, which you know that. I've told you that. You know,
Yep.
they used to be all with the dancing.
Oh, yeah.
In the 80s, the band's lineup has changed frequently, leaving Jourgensen as the sole remaining original member. Yeah, they all abandoned him like Jacob.
Yeah, I have a feeling that he gets old pretty quickly. Like, I can only handle being around this guy for, a couple weeks, and then I'm out of the band.
Fucking everybody, every year, I don't know another thing about Republicans, dude.
I just want to play my fucking Xbox. Oh, wait a second. That was iced tea. My bad.
I just wanted a Pepsi. She wouldn't bring me one. Anywho, musicians who have contributed to the band's studio or live activities include vocalist Ogre from Skinny Puppy, Chris Connelly, Gibby Haynes, Burton C. from Fear Factory, Jello Biafra from the Dead Kennedys, guitarist Mike Scaccia and Tommy Victor, guitarist Cesar Soto, bassist Paul Barker, Paul Raven, Jason Christopher, Tony Campos, Paul D'Amour, drummers Jimmy DeGrasso, Bill Rieflin, bitch, Martin Atkins, Rey Washam, Max Brody, Joey Jordison, and Roy Mayorga, keyboardist John Bechdel, and rappers and producers DJ Swamp. Don't get him confused with my DJ name, which is DJ Swamp Ass, and an Arabian Prince.
Oh, man.
Yeah, wait till I do my own artificial intelligence album under the name DJ Swamp Ass.
Please do. Please do.
Ministry attained commercial success in the late 1980s and early 1990s with 3 of their studio albums, The Land of Rape and Honey, of which Stigmata is one of the most popular songs on there. Mine is a Terrible Thing to Taste, 1989, and Psalm 69, 1992. The first was certified gold, while Psalm 69 was certified platinum by the RAAA. Psalm 69 was followed by Filth Pig. Hey, Jesse, guess what?
Is your pig filthy?
My pig is filthy! Which was a stylistic departure for the band. Yeah, sure it was. And earned Ministry its highest chart position on the Billboard 200, number 19, although it was met with mixed receptions by critics and marked the beginning of the band's commercial decline. Yeah, we thought Filthy Pig sucked. The lackluster response to their next album, Dark Side of the Spoon, yeesh, resulted in Warner Brothers dropping Ministry from their label, and the group entered an extended hiatus in the early 2000s when Jourgensen entered rehab after years of substance abuse.
Oh, boy.
Dark Side, they really peaked with Psalm 69. Let me talk about this for a minute.
Please do.
I was but a lad when I ran into Ministry. I was actually telling the story not that long ago. My cousin Jennifer, I was 15, and she was a couple of years older than me, and she had friends around the same age, and they were going to a teen night at a local industrial club on Long Island, New York, I believe in the town of Mineola, named after the Indians. And Hotel Leningrad had, they called it an industrial night, but they were playing like modern metal at the time. This is where I was introduced to a lot of the stuff I listened to. This is the place, Jesse, where you should stick your face. But also the place where my medical awakening actually happened. It was on this night. They took me to the Hotel Leningrad, and they played fucking Hostile by Pantera, and they played Sepultura, and they played Body Counts in the House, which aside, I played that for my son recently.
Oh, good. Good.
We're finding songs for him to do at karaoke because, The Tactical Penis was such a big hit.
Oh, yes.
We're trying to find more songs for him to do with, and so I said, go ahead.
Within reason. Well, I was going to say within reason.
Yeah. So I said, here, I want you to hear this song. It's very lyrically deep. There's a lot going on with this song. It's very complex.
Yeah.
And I think you should do it a family-friendly karaoke at the Wabash Pizzeria in Lakeland. And so I played for him Body Counts in the House. He knew the lyrics immediately, Jesse. He's a genius.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we were in the car rocking out. He's like, body counts in the house, body count.
Body count. Body counts in the house. Body count.
Beatmaster V, motherfucker.
It's my main man, motherfucking Ernie C.
Laying the rhythm tracks. They call him Moose Man.
Motherfucking Moose Man.
Anywho, but they also played Thieves by Ministry. Thieves and Lies. Is Mindy calling you?
No, the little ones, I can hear him screaming about something. It's either he's playing VR and he's yelling at the people on VR, or he's yelling at his brother, one or the other. So I'm trying to figure out if one of those two things will involve me, but the other one may not. So
okay.
But continue.
Lurch comes through your ceiling. Dad, like grabs you, like Dad. He's touching me.
Yeah, that's what it would be. He touched my Legos.
How many times have I told you this? Put me down, son. Anywho,
man. Continue. Sorry.
Yes, they played Thieves by Ministry, which was on Mine Was a Terrible Thing to Taste. There were two big Ministry songs off of that one: Thieves, and Liars, Murderers, Hypocrites, and Bastards. And then there was Burning Inside, both very, very popular. But I became obsessed with Ministry, and that's when I got into KMFDM, and shortly thereafter, Nine Inch Nails would become popular, and it's Nine Inch Nails through which the door to mainstream industrial would open. With Ministry right behind them.
Right.
And then I went back and I listened to The Land of Rape and Honey, and that's when I found Stigmata, and Stigmata is awesome. But then one fine Christmas, I got Psalm 69, and that, Jesse, as you'll remember, because we did a couple of these on the Metal Hammer of Doom extra. That's where you got the Just One Fix, with old William S. Burroughs out there in the street just looking, just doesn't know what he's doing. But also Jesus Built My Hot Rod.
Jesus Built My Hot Rod.
And then, of course, New World Order, baby. Dude, NWO is still one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah.
I believe so when Chris Sheehan, you remember that name? That's a blast from the past.
Oh yeah.
Chris Sheehan asked me to make a soundtrack to my life. I had to put NWO on there.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, Psalm 69 was the height of Ministry. It wasn't getting any better than that, and it didn't. Because then, followed with Filth Pig, and Filth Pig was a lot slower and a lot sludgier and a lot darker. And it was this is not what we want from Ministry. We want more NWO. We want more Just One Fix. And then they followed it up with Dark Side of the Spoon, and it was well, fuck this band.
We have decided to go this route. We'll see you there, or we won't see it all.
Right. Following Jourgensen's recovery, Ministry resurfaced in 2003 with Animositas Sosomina, which turned out to be their last album with Paul Barker, who would leave the band following a year, nearly after 2 decades as an official member. Ministry returned to the thrash industrial style with Song 69 with the Bush trilogy. Yes, sir. Houses of the Mole, 2004, Rio Grande Blood, 2006, and The Last Sucker, 2007. And I think I might have told you this story. Maybe I haven't. One of the first dates I took Melissa on was to a Ministry show. Meshuggah opened up for them, and it was on the Last Sucker tour. So they were very heavily playing stuff from the Bush trilogy. So I took this very sheltered, naive, Richie Rich, conservative girl to Ministry where they're showing flashes of Dick Cheney being murdered.
Oh, jeez.
It's really not a wonder she would want to divorce me years later. I'm just saying.
That was the first thing on the checklist.
She was and another thing I hate about you.
As soon as I reach 1,000, you're done.
Yeah. It was funny. She was talking about being in mosh pits, and I was just, and how cool, she's too cool for school now when it comes to the mosh pit. But back then, fucking, a mosh pit broke out during Meshuggah, and she ran from Pinellas County back to Hillsborough.
Get me out of here.
She was fucking gone. So anyway, the Bush trilogy was really, really good. Really
are we in
fast.
the midst of a trilogy now? Is that what I just, as you're saying this, I'm starting to think like, is that what's happening here?
Moral Hygiene was 2021. You might not be wrong, Jesse, because let's think about this, right? Filth Pig, Dark Side of the Spoon, and Animosity Samana sucked, all of them. But then they came back strong in 2004 with Houses of the Mole, Rio Grande Blood 2006, and then The Last Sucker in 2007, and that was the Bush trilogy, and it was all awesome. It was all heavy, but it was all thematic. It was all a reaction to the Bush-Cheney years, right?
Right.
And then Obama saved America. So
Yes,
I've
he
been
did.
told.
Yeah, he did.
In 2008, God sent his only other son, Barack Obama.
He had two. And who would have known?
We don't often talk about God's black son, Barack Obama, but that's going to get me in trouble with somebody.
Well, you're on the list.
But Barack Obama, he died for our sins. Anyway, but
still alive, but he did.
So he's president from 2008 to 2016. And as we all know, America was having a rebirth at that time. But what also happened during that time was Relapse and From Beer to Eternity. Do you remember From Beer to Eternity in 2013? That is an old as we reviewed it. That's an old as shit review from the Metal Hammer of Doom.
Right. And I believe you guys like flushed it down the toilet, if I remember correctly.
From Beer to Eternity sucks a big fat black dick. It's awful. I mean, there's some not great Ministry albums, but this one nearly turned me off the band entirely. Like I was starting to question my life decisions.
Wow.
Yeah, From Beer to Eternity sucks. But you know what else I remember from Beer to Eternity?
Tell me.
The comments we got for that.
Oh. Struck a nerve? Or did everybody agree?
Well,
there's no way everybody agreed.
If I'm remembering correctly, there were two different iterations of this story. One is the Metal Hammer of Doom extras we did on Ministry, where people were yelling at us.
Oh, I do remember that. I mean, like,
because that's for the next album we're going to talk about.
That was the first, one of the first Metal Hammer of Doom extras that we had done.
Right.
We did a trilogy of videos. Yeah,
we did a trilogy of Ministry videos, and we were not entirely complimentary the entire time, and somebody lost their fucking mind on us.
Yeah, they were fans. They were definitely fans of
they were like
Ministry.
Yeah, they were mad and told us we shouldn't be Ministry fans anymore. We were excised from the club.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Put us right there with who else was it? Not Bandmade. What was it? Baby Metal. Put us right there. We've been excised from that group as well. I apologize.
If anyone wonders why you can't comment on Jesse's stuff anymore.
Right. That's the first time I ever was like, we can't have this out there. This is negativity.
This is why Jesse isn't going to homo piles. He doesn't want to get criticized, and so
I haven't left the basement since that since that whole YouTube fiasco.
Yeah, Jesse's not really working remote as such, as he's just not coming out of his house, and so they bring the work to him.
Exactly.
Jesse, we need to come into the office. You need to bring the office here, motherfuckers. I ain't going out there. Like there's a purge happening out there. Did you see what they did to poor Barack Obama? They nailed him to a cross. It was crazy. Anywho, so Barack Obama goes back to heaven, and in 2018, 2 hot years after who got elected president, Jesse?
Oh, that would be one Donald Trump. I stared into the abyss the day after that he was elected. That. I'm sorry.
Liberal tree hugging commie panty waist.
I'm sorry. I was reciting lyrics from the Twilight Zone, if I remember correctly, off of that America Can't.
Mm-hmm.
This is about the time where I come in.
And
I'm like,
off and you took over.
I was like, okay, I want to learn a little bit about Ministry. And I was really impressed with that album. I liked it a lot.
Do you remember that conversation? I went on a fucking rant which is funny because on Sunday when Sean and I reviewed The Great Gatsby, and he was asking me about, and we're talking about F. Scott Fitzgerald, and and he's writing this criticism of rich white people, and I was like, he can write all the fucking criticisms he wants. No one's going to do anything about it. And I had the same rant where we talked about America can't. Ministry's take on Popeye.
Oh yeah.
I'm Jourgensen, the sailor man.
It's a drug reference. Nobody saw it.
That was me shooting heroin. I don't know where I'm shooting it, by the way. I'm like if we can jamming it into my wrist. That's not where you put the heroin. You put it between your toes so nobody sees it.
Wait. Listen, kids. He knows what he's talking about.
Anywho.
This review, if I remember correctly, just throw this out there. I think Ronnie Adams.
Oh my God, Ronnie, don't put your politics in my music or comics. Adams.
We drafted him to come in and talk about America Can't.
Right.
But anyway.
And that was another one where he didn't believe it was a real band.
Right.
Oh, that's fucking funny. But yeah, we liked America Can't, but I was very much like, shut up, Al.
Yeah,
Shut your horror mouth already. There's a point in my life where I turned into Laura Ingraham, where like I'm just all shut up and sing. So that was our review of America. It's a great album. But this whole like tangent that we have just been on was, are we in the middle of another trilogy? And so in 2021, we've got Moral Hygiene, and then now, as of March 1st in the year of our Lord 2024, on the Nuclear Blast, we've got Hopium for the Masses, which we're going to talk about tonight. But I would say, because we had to have done the last one too. We had to have done Moral Hygiene. In fact, I know we did. And I feel like our take on Moral Hygiene very similar to America Can't, which is Al's hitting you hard, he's hitting you fast, and he's getting the fuck out of there. Al's albums are now like home invasions. They just run in, beat the fuck out of you, and run out the door again, yelling "hee hee." It's not like the kind of home invasion where they take your television. It's more of a Clockwork Orange. Like droogies run in, and and they rape your woman, they beat you with a cane, and then they run back out again to cause mischief in the streets of London. Ministry. What do you think, Jesse? Just kind of going through our history of Ministry, right? Like, don't get into Hopium for the Masses just yet, but like my kind of assessment of what you're calling maybe the Trump trilogy. Could we say that?
I mean, it's got to be. I'd love to go back and revisit Moral Hygiene, but I'm absolutely certain that this man's not going to deviate from what he did with America Can't. 2021. So, I mean, my goodness, we are in the midst. I need to see when that actually dropped, because Biden has taken over at that point.
Yeah, he was elected president at the end of 2020. So,
but you got to think that a lot of the production of this album, depending on how early it was, may have occurred when Trump was still in power, therefore giving Jourgensen the fuel that he always desires to rant.
Moral Hygiene went into production for 3 years, starting in the year of our Lord 2018.
Okay. All right. Well, that's prime Trump territory right there.
Yeah, for sure.
So
kind of looking back through the discography here, like I said, I saw Ministry on the Filth Pig tour. I think I saw them years later. They have a song in the movie AI, Jesse's favorite movie of all time. Don't lie to me, Jesse.
Now this is AI. Is that the one with Haley Joel Osment?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, I have to look it up. But go ahead.
Ministry's got a song in that one called "What About Us." So just kind of going back through these again. You've got With Sympathy, which was a whole other thing from a whole other time, and then Twitch. But Ministry, as we know it today, starts with The Land of Rape and Honey, and it's great. And then it gets even better with The Mind is a Terrible Thing to Taste. And I don't think they have an album that's better. And certainly in terms of record sales, I don't think this is disputable. Psalm 69 in 1992, the mist of my metal awakening, Jesse Starcher of the Screaming Boy podcast. Platinum in the US, gold in Australia, gold in Canada. I mean, it's so many hit songs off of that album. Jesse, do you even know what's on Psalm 69, Jesse?
We just kind of talked about it a little bit there. Jesus
But there's
built my
more.
hot rod.
But there's
Tell
more.
me about more.
You got TV2, you got Hero, you got Scarecrow, not the comic book character, Scarecrow. Congregation, please be seated and open your prayer guides to the book of Revelation. Psalm 69, 69, 69, 69. Oh, so good. Because what's great about that song, Jesse, is, you know, it's got such these powerful like organs, and it's slow, and it's like moving, and then boom, and it hits you. They're drinking the blood of Jesus, drinking it right from his grave, you know, and it's just so heavy and so cool. Psalm 69 is fucking dope. Go listen to it. Leave this podcast
stuff.
And go and come back. Tell me what you think.
Okay.
Sure. And then Corrosion and Grace. It's such a great album. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about it. Like the height of Ministry, it does not get any better than this. Because then, like I said, then we have the trilogy of shit albums that almost ran me off the band: Filthy Pig, Dark Side of the Spoon, and Animosity Samana. And then we're into the Bush trilogy. And then we take a break from putting out decent music and put out, I don't know if fucking Al Jourgensen was like back on heroin again. You know, if he was in a relationship with his horse. I'm not entirely sure what was happening with these two albums, but less said about them, the better. And then we're into the Trump trilogy, and he's back on top again. I think he was saying like this might be it though with Hopium for the Masses. What do you think?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
We can get into it after the break.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's pretty crazy. So I'm ready. What do we got? Are we going to be watching the video?
Yes, because I thought originally like we should just do whatever the hell we want on this show. We should just play whatever music we want to play. And if we don't play any music from the band we're covering, that's okay. And then I thought, I'm stupid. That's stupid. We should at least play one song from the band that we're talking about in the album we're reviewing. So I restructured our format just a little bit. And here is a music video from the actual album that we're actually reviewing from the actual band that we're actually talking about. Jesse, I heard in the streets of Marietta, Georgia, you might be known as Goddamn White Trash. Is that true?
Yes, sir. Matter of fact, that's my nickname.
Goddamn White Trash.
As every time I walk outside, neighbors yelling it. I don't understand, but where they got that from. But
this is why I don't go outside.
Yeah, keep me in the basement.
Every time I go into the kitchen, Mindy's like, "You goddamn white trash! Stop writing songs about me."
Too bad.
Your son comes in, he picks you up. He's like, "Hello, father, goddamn white trash." And he puts you on the shelf next to the Funko Pops.
Let me down.
I don't know why you shrunk in that example, by the way. I can't decide if your son is Willie from the Disney cartoons, you know, the giant Willie.
Yeah.
And you're just normal sized, or if you're a Lilliputian that he's a normal sized kid.
Well, I'm sure it'll change at some point here. I'll be even smaller, and he'll be like, put me in his pocket. I have no idea. That's gonna be crazy.
Well, in the last show, you said that, you know, when you've decided to leave your home and live in the woods deliberately, that the actual plan is to move in with one of your children.
Oh, that's right. If he's got a pocket available, I'm just going to live right in there.
You beat me to it. Well, I let you because I don't want to keep talking over you. But yeah, you're totally living in your son's pocket, aren't you?
That's what I'm going to do.
Like a baby kangaroo.
Perfect. That's perfect.
All right. Speaking of perfection.
Oh boy.
Who am I? Perfection. This is Goddamn White Trash by Ministry.
I haven't seen this video, so I have no idea what we're getting here.
I wouldn't know. Well, it's so funny because you're just like, I wish the whole album had this energy, and I assumed you picked the video, so I click on it and it takes me to Spotify. I'm like, well, this isn't helpful. Why is Steve Buscemi in this video?
Well,
I've
always
way too many piercings.
Oh boy!
Oh shit!
Boy.
Here we go. My favorite kind of boys, white. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Getting your rascal scooter in the middle of the desert.
What are these guys doing? Are they coming to watch the concert? Is that what the deal is?
In the middle of the desert?
Right. Though we've seen quite a few concerts in the desert.
Yes, and every time I have to ask, what are they plugging their shit into?
We need your help.
I think all of Al Jourgensen's facial piercings are a constellation that point to the future.
I'm checking out the names just to see what we got going on here. Oh,
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. Well, I don't. Why is one of them wearing riding a pink hobby horse?
I don't know.
I feel like the goddamn white trash is not cotton to.
They would be inclusive. You wouldn't think.
No, I don't think they're down for the homo pile.
But if you want to take your shots at these guys,
One of them is
that's
mad
what
clear,
you do.
Jesse. Look at that. Look at that. Grabbed him by the tuchus.
That dude has a sick ass visor. I loved that. That was awesome.
Oh, look at the cast of cats.
Oh, I can't believe we're going Broadway.
Okay. Is the crotch grabbing necessary?
I don't. There's a lot that's not necessary here.
I mean, no, tasteful shot of his crotch.
Brother, put some pants on. No.
No, he just hopped out of the homo pile.
Oh goodness. So
Jesse, what did you talk about tonight on the podcast with Mark? Homo piles incessantly.
I really don't want to. Actually, I don't care. The guy in the tidy whities
Yes.
reminds me of my father-in-law.
Oh, do tell.
When he gets, let's just say he has a, he definitely likes to indulge in some alcoholic beverages, and believes he knows martial arts about the fifth beer in, which is hilarious. That's what that reminded me of.
Will you please get him drunk and put him on TikTok for me?
No, thank you.
Doing the karate. Goddamn white trash.
This
Badass
song was this song was awesome, and this took me back to America Can't.
Yeah.
And I wanted more of it, but I just felt like there's a reason why this song, of course, it was probably the single if we got a video that accompanied it.
Yeah.
But there's a million listens on Spotify. So, and it dwarfs any other song on this album.
No. I'm going to tell you what the best song on the album is in just a minute.
Well, doesn't seem like a lot of people agree.
A lot of people are wrong. Goddamn white trash. There's going to be some deliverance shit happening here.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
His pig is about to get filthy.
I love how Jourgensen's he's like a Civil War general.
Of course he is. Oh, the gay guy came over to him. What is that?
That I don't understand what's going on at all.
Ooh.
All right, then.
Oh, men kissing men.
Oh, push that envelope, Al Jourgensen.
It's not always going to push. All righty. Jesse.
Mark.
Hopium for the Masses.
Yep.
Came out. Is the 16th studio album by Ministry. It was released on March 1st, as I said before. It's the band's first release since 2021's Moral Hygiene. Like the previous album, it features guest appearances by former Dead Kennedy's vocalist, Jello Biafra. Jello Biafra. Jello Biafra. So the first track on here, I want to pull this up really quick. The first track on here is called BDE. BDE stands for Ministry. Jesse.
Who's Ministry? We're bringing on the band now. Big Dick Energy.
So listen to the album in preparation for the podcast tonight, so I would actually know what the fuck I was talking about. And the first song I hear is Big Dick Energy. And I'm like, yeah, okay, so this tells you a lot about me, what I'm about to say. I might cut this for TikTok. I'm going to say something controversial. This might get me canceled.
Controversial.
So you know how, like, morons think Born in the USA is a pro-USA song?
Yes, you said this in the chat, and I wanted to hear this explanation, and I cannot wait.
Okay.
So please continue.
So my toxic ass, my toxically masculine ass, is hearing a song called Big Dick Energy. And I'm like, yeah! I don't even know what the lyrics of this thing are yet. I just hear Big Dick Energy, and I'm like, finally, Ministry writes a song for me. Because I think if one thing can be said about me at my eventual and probably fast coming funeral is Mark. Here lies Mark Radulich, loving father, occasionally loving husband. He had big dick energy. In fact, so much big dick energy that many women can't keep up with me, and this is a true statement.
Oh goodness!
It has been said of me that I have a lot of energy, and it's hard to keep up with me. The women's, Jesse. The women's have a difficult time keeping up with my big dick energy.
Okay.
When they
that's great.
after a few hours of me, they need a nap from life. So anyway, I'm like, yeah, all right. Big dick energy. I'm all about this song. I am singing it in the car. I'm like imagining a rock opera called Big Dick Energy. I'm like, yes, Ministry. Then I listened to the lyrics.
Yeah.
And then
they wrote it for you, buddy. They wrote it for you.
I had a total Born in the Ow.
Oh, wait. Oh, no.
Oh, that was one of those raw.
It is me.
Gigs. Best friends on earth with Jesse, but occasionally, Mark 100, Jesse 1. But that one always hurts.
I'm right there with you when I was listening to this. I was like, oh, wow. Are we? But then I realized, no, he's not championing. He is not championing.
This is not a compliment.
No, this is absolutely his commentary on, as it is said over and over, toxic misogyny in the song.
Let's talk about these lyrics, okay? Okay, so here's me. I'm in the car going, yeah, I can't wait to see them in concert. I'm gonna have my girlfriend with me. I'm gonna have my friends. I'm gonna have Cobra Commander. She's gonna be there with her fiance from the Dwarven Kingdom. It's gonna be fantastic. Yeah, Cobra Commander is back with her ex husband / current fiance, Arathorn.
This is the one. Okay, yeah. Now I understand I understand the joke.
Yeah.
Took me a while to figure it out. All right.
So, some people say we have one too many inside jokes.
Maybe.
So anyway,
she became
Thorn Oakenshield. That was the name I was going for. Yeah, her
Thorn Oakenshield. Okay,
yes.
All right.
Yeah, so yeah, fucking Cobra Commander is back with her ex-husband, now current fiance, Thorn Oakenshield.
Gotcha.
Nicknames. Anyway, so I'm gonna share that with him when I go see him at Ministry in a few weeks. Anyway. So I'm like, yeah, man, big dick energy. I'm going to totally rock out to this with my cock out at the Ministry show in Orlando. It's going to be fantastic. So what was once forbidden becomes fringe. And what was fringe becomes mainstream. This is a nightmare. Big dick energy. And if that was too subtle for you, Jesse, if that was too much song for you, what was once forbidden becomes fringe, and what was fringe becomes mainstream, this is a nightmare. If that lost you somewhere, toxic misogyny, violence, toxic misogyny, violence, toxic misogyny, toxic misogyny. Just fucking beat you.
Just continually beating you and beating you over the head.
I think Al has an opinion on toxic male behavior. I don't know if you saw that or not. Horny.
I don't know. I don't know how many other, we'll just say, recording artists that are in the industrial music scene are putting something like this out here. And I'm not criticizing the guy for doing it. I think it's great. He's got an opinion, but it's you know, I don't know. Maybe, I guess he's probably of the thought that someone's got to say it, and I might as well say it.
Who's gonna fucking stop him at this point? Like,
nobody is, because they know who he is and they know.
But here's the thing: it's also coming from him, so who cares? Like, oh no, Al Jourgensen has a very liberal, progressive opinion.
He's making his way down, the liberal opinion checklist.
It's like
we've said this before. I swear we've
run out of shit to complain about. It's like, well, we've ranted about war and nobody cares, and we talked about the drug war and nobody cares. Well, what's left? I don't know. Dick men.
Okay.
Like,
I got a song for that.
I got a song for that. This might have been too subtle, Al. You might want to dumb this down a bit. All righty. So let's go on. Horny little boys full of hormones and hate that I mentioned, the homo pile. Waging war on women's cause they can't get a date. Oh, Jesse. Stockpiling their weapons because they think their ticks get bigger. Waiting for a chance to finally pull the fucking trigger. I was so happy until I heard the lyrics of this song and realized, this is not a happy celebration of big dick energy. He is
criticizing. Absolutely cutting your dick off. That is what's happening. He has got the scissors. It's interesting that, looking at these lyrics, I mean, I listened to the song when I heard the album, but it now reminds me and the wife were watching Dark Side of the 90s. Okay.
Vice has
come out with Dark Side of the 90s, Dark Side of the 2000s. Actually, I'm sorry. We were watching Dark Side of the 2000s. Anyway. So yeah, picture Dark Side of the Ring. That's probably the most popular iteration of Dark Side, whatever. So Dark Side of the 2000s had by the way, I learned a lot about Howard Stern and Opie and Anthony in a two-parter that they did, which was great. I don't know anything much about them, but aside from that, a couple episodes later, they're talking about lad mags, feeding right into something like this. Yeah, it was a new term for me too. Maxim magazine.
They were called. What's a weird
lad mags? I think that's an over.
That term is more queer than a $3 bill.
That's an over the pond kind of deal. They had Loaded over there, and then so they started calling these things lad mags. But anyway, Maxim, and I can't remember the other one that they were talking about. It wasn't GQ, it was something else. But regardless, they were feeding in to this back in the day.
Yeah.
So do you
remember the fucking Man Show? The Man Show. Where at least a third of that show was a big bosomed woman jumping up and down on a trampoline. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Joe Rogan and what? I can't remember the other guy's name.
I know who you're talking. I can picture his fucking face too.
Yeah. Another one looks like Frankenstein.
Yeah. Frankenstein light. But the point is that was a culture. Adam Carolla. Yep. This is a culture that was accepted back then in the mid 2000s, and clearly cultures changed. So it's kind of like it bred all these people to kind of be like that. For Al Jourgensen to rail against, I guess.
In defense of that position, and I've been one that both like hates but sees the necessity of a term like the male gaze. Look, I think when I got excited about the song and I heard the song like big dick energy, it's because I'm thinking the song is about being confident.
It's confidence, right?
Yeah,
right.
And that's what I took it as. So without really giving it a strong listen and just hearing the song and being taken in by the musicianship and how heavy it was and all of that, and I'm hearing big dick energy and I'm thinking confidence, and that's something I'm very, very strong with. Not that I have a tremendous amount of confidence. I mean, I do, but I think confidence is important. I think confidence is manly. I think confidence is positive. It's something you should have. It's something I try to teach both my kids, not just my son, but my daughter. Like, there's a reason like I push her to do like karaoke even when she's not like into it, because like I want her to have confidence. I want her to walk into a room and fucking own it.
Right.
Because because that's how you get through life. If you are just kind of blowing in the wind, you're never going to get anywhere. I've told both my kids, you have to fucking take command of every situation that you're in. Be an alpha. Don't be a beta. There's plenty of betas out there. Some of them you might even live in your house. Like how it takes you a minute to be like, oh, that was a crack about. Okay. But be an alpha. Be confident. Be confident in yourself. Believe in yourself. And so I'm hearing big dick energy, and that's what I think it is. And he's like, no. That's all fine and dandy. But this is about the people who he's talking about incels. That's that line about, the guys with the small dicks having a war on women. And I think there's a conversation to be had about the problem is I am the Gemini, not the Slayer song, but I can see both sides of it. There's the side that's like women are toxic, women are narcissistic, they abuse and use men, they use the family court system to destroy these guys, why like men have like a higher rate of suicide than women, blah blah yakety schmackety. And so there's that side of like the argument, but then there's also the side of the argument that is men absolutely do objectify women that don't want to be actively objectified. Let's leave those weirdos out. Okay. The women who are looking to be used as sex dolls, you're a pretty girl, and that's very lovely of you, and we appreciate you for what your contributions to society, but stand aside because we're not talking about you. We're talking about the women who don't want to be objectified and the men who do objectify them, and they're bad too. A lot of bad out there, Jesse.
All right.
So look, I get, and then again, like the fat, bearded, white, bald, angry, comic book reading, sci-fi watching nerd who can't seem to figure out how to put two sentences together long enough to attract a female, and they get angry about it, and then they do have a detest for women, and those people are bad too. So it's like, not that I don't sympathize with this point of view. He chose this song, and he decided to tackle that issue with this song, and that's fine. I'm not mad at him for it. I think it's a good song.
Sure. Yeah. And I think, to this day, I haven't heard anybody use BDE as an insult. And that's the other thing. And this is kind of
you have a huge penis, you monster.
It's like, no, if you as far as I know, but then again, it might also be I don't know. It might also count against it too. Like you're measuring somebody's confidence based on the size of their dick. So I don't know. There's a lot wrapped up in this song, and yeah, it kind of threw me for a loop too when I started listening to the lyrics and hearing what he was saying.
Hating what you cannot have, killing what you cannot be. Fuck. No one can justify their toxic behavior. Fuck. Big dick energy. Man, it's weird though that I still like yell big dick energy like it's a positive thing. Manosphere. I once saw Manosphere open up for Metallica in 1989 at the Nassau Coliseum. And then if like he wasn't being subtle, he wasn't being straightforward enough, he was being too subtle. It comes down to controlling women's bodies. It's the birth rates. Let me give you a hint. It's not just a vagina, big dick energy.
I think that's a clip, if I remember correctly. I remember the girl saying it's not, I'm not just a vagina. Manosphere. I have never heard of that term, and I'm immediately going to Google that up just to see. I got it in context.
I'm renaming the podcast Manosphere. Toxic little man with a toxic little plan. Fuck them all, kill them all, both if you can. There's no relief in sight from the crazy far right. They'll never get to fuck, so they just kill out of spite. Well, some people on the far right fuck. I'm just saying. Hating what you cannot have, killing what you cannot be. Well, I don't think so. Fuck. Yada, yada, yada. Controlling women's bodies. Yada, yada, yada. And this just goes on and on. You don't hate me. You hate yourself. Maybe. I'm not going to have your baby, you fucking loser. Alrighty.
The manosphere refers to a wide variety of men's groups operating on the internet and offline. Many describe themselves as fighting against progressive or woke ideas about gender equality.
I think, and it's the last thing I'm going to say on this, and we have to talk about the rest of the album, but I had to have my Born in the USA moment. Because as bright an individual as I am, sometimes I'm a little stupid.
It's
So,
okay. Sorry.
like, oh, he's talking about giant penises. I'm so happy. Hey, wait a minute. That's an insult. Cartoon character that I can be at times. But yeah, I like the song. I think you know, Al sort of looks at what's going on in the world, and you know, I think again, being part of the Trump trilogy, I think this is what I was trying to get at. If shortly into the Trump years, a lot of states started passing like anti-abortion laws, and then so he's tying a lot of that stuff in too. You know, a lot of the abortion laws and the restrictions of, you know, women's rights, and I've been hearing this for years, especially being in the social work sphere. You know, like conservatives are real big about limiting your options for child care, for child rearing, but they're not so much into like helping you pay for the child. And it's like there's a conversation about we're shaping society in a way that forces women to stay with men that are not good for them. And it's, you know, one conversation to be had with when you're talking about the women who destroy men's lives, but it's not like men don't destroy women's lives too. Like a woman's never been abused before. Right. And that's, you know, and that's what he's pointing at. I think also Al's like, there's plenty of people out there pointing at, you know, criticizing women and sticking up for men. So here's one for the ladies. Big dick energy.
Very much like I said, he's a guy that's going to be like, nobody else is saying it. I'm going to put it in my album. I'm going to say something about it. And here is, remember the Antifa song from
Oh my God,
America Can't?
What a conversation that sparked.
So I feel like, again, that's something that nobody else is making this song. I'm going to make it about this group. And you know, it's a cause, which is fine. You're an artist, you believe in a cause, you go ahead and put it out there. And I don't have any problem with the song in any way. I think it's got a good message. So, you know, but yeah, it's it'll trick you.
It'll quench you, as they say in Avatar. So the rest of the track listing, we got Goddamn White Trash, Just Stop Oil. No, just knock it off.
Oh, now come on.
Aryan Embarrassment, TV, because in case you didn't hate white people enough in this album, TV song 1/6 edition. That's my favorite. I love the TV songs. New Religion, It's Not Pretty, Cult of Suffering, and then Ricky's Hand.
Ricky's Hand. So I just want to take a few seconds to figure out what the hell that song's about.
Okay,
because
so
I listened to it.
Uh-huh.
Do we have an explanation?
Well, it's a cover, first of all. It's covered by a song called Fad Gadget.
Saw them with Fudge Tunnel when they opened up with
I actually saw that tour, the Fad Gadget Fudge Tunnel tour. Homo Piles Across America, 1989.
We Are the World.
It was a single in 1980. It was the second Fad Gadget single following Back to Nature, the previous year. The track was not included on any studio album, predating a debut LP by several months, but does appear on several compilations. Mute Records founder Daniel Miller collaborated on the writing, playing, and production. Lyrically, the song was a sardonic cautionary tale on the perils of drink driving.
Drink. No, you're okay. You didn't mess up.
I swear to God, yeah, no. Look it up yourself, pal. Drink driving. Jesse, I was a bad drink driver back in the day. I'll tell you, we talked about that on the Cannibal Corpse show. I was a bad drink driver back in the day.
Do not drunk and drive. This is the Battleship Chains of this album. How's that? Remember Battleship Chains? And
I do, but for the people, explain what you mean by that.
So Battleship Chains was, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of the band that they covered.
Jesse
but
is
it was
so
a cover.
nice. Jesse, if you homopiled on top of him, wouldn't stop you because he'd be afraid of hurting your feelings. But
I'd be on the bottom. I'd be afraid of hurting you.
But Jesse was so mad about I've never seen Jesse pissed off except for when I ask him to do, when I ask him to do something for the podcast and he does not want to do like a source material, syndicated source material, then Jesse gets mad at me. But other than that, Jesse's always just congenial and cordial, and he's punctual and polite and perky. But I've never seen Jesse so fucking mad at a song as he was at Battleship Chains.
Because it made no fucking sense. And this is the same thing happening here. I don't know what the hell's happening in this song. I listened to the song.
Drink driving.
One
That's
time.
what's happening.
Drink driving.
Anywho, Hopium for the Masses. The peak position was 30 on German albums, Scottish 38, Swiss albums 49, UK albums 32, UK independent 12, and UK rock and metal albums 6, and it did not chart in America as near as I can tell. I like the album. I think, like I said, it kind of reminds me of Moral Hygiene. In that it's short but sweet. It's less than an hour. It's 42 minutes long, and I think you kind of complain. You just like it after Big Dick Energy and poor Goddamn White Trash. The album kind of falls off for you.
Yeah, it doesn't grab me as because, like I said, I wanted more of Goddamn White Trash. I wanted what that sound was throughout the rest of this album, and you don't really get that. You get the classic Al Jourgensen grabbing clips and beating you over the head with something, but it's not got the energy that Goddamn White Trash has, in my opinion. It just does not. And when you look at the plays, by the way, the second most is BDE with 209,000 compared to 1,020,000 from Goddamn White Trash. And that BDE is the second most played off of this album. Now, granted, it's only been out, for about a week now, right?
Yeah.
It dropped maybe about 10 days.
10 days ago.
So, yeah. And there's not very many tracks that keep up the pace either. So, usually when you can see how the track or the plays kind of decrease as the album goes on, that's kind of a telling tale of what people think of the album as well. And I would go on to the Angry Metal Guy. We haven't had his name out there in a while. But
Jesse, what does the Angry Metal Guy think of all this?
I don't have it up. Sorry. Afraid we're just going to have to wonder. But I feel like, this is, it's an album. Oh, I'm sorry. Just Stop Oil has 247,000. So it's a little bit ahead of BDE. But anyway, yeah, I just feel it doesn't keep up the pace like I want it to. It's not an America can't. And that's kind of where I land.
All right. Anything else about Hopium for the Masses?
We need your help. We need your help. We need your help. Nothing else, man. Nothing else.
Okay. We need your help. All righty. We got another bet going, Jesse. So I asked Chris, I said, Chris, put your money where your mouth is. I said, what's your picks? And he was like, what games are the rest of the night? And he said, the Islanders are playing the LA Kings. I told you this before. You walked me all the way through it. Well, that game has started, and it is 0-0. But if I win, I turn $25 into $50.
That score's not going to change much, just to be aware.
Yeah,
that's what fucking hockey does.
That's hockey for you. Goddamn white hockey. Goddamn white honkies. I don't know why I had to be redundant and say white honkies.
White honkies.
White honkies.
Just to make sure.
I once saw the White Honkies open up for Metallica in 1989, the Nassau Coliseum.
Brilliant.
So, all right, Jesse. Well, Robert Cooper is in the wind. That's okay. We will proceed as we proceed. So, I did not prepare for this show.
Hey, perfect.
What a shock. So right before the show started, I was kind of flipping through YouTube videos, and I saw this one. I know initially I saw the still of this, and I thought it was Princess Leia in the slave girl outfit. I'm like, what is this nonsense?
Oh boy!
And then I watched it, and I'm like, oh well, this is kind of my speed. So this is Firefly. Firefly.
Oh man.
Hero Schwans. And the music video is Highlander. It's from Napalm Records. The audience is now on fire. Ready?
Oh yeah. Oh, bring it.
Ah!
Schwartz. What does that mean? Any idea?
No, fucking dude, I didn't prepare for this. I literally was like, pretty girl, and like, you know,
Look at that.
yeah. Another like folky metal band with violins and shit, just out in the fjords.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
Is that guy gonna play that sword at some point?
I hope
He whips it out. It's got like 3 strings
that
on
guy
it.
was playing a battle axe.
Okay.
I mean, this is badass, you know.
I like it.
I like his top hat, by the way.
Oh yeah, bro has a costume.
This is my kind of video.
The
Where
lead singer sounds
They're
familiar. Go ahead.
so dramatic.
Is this a song about like the movie?
It's definitely about
Highlander?
Highlanders.
So I'm gonna have to look this up.
I can do all those dramatic poses, by the way.
Oh, congratulations. That's good.
I'll do that to anything, though.
Bro,
just
I'm pretty I'm pretty sure this is about the Highlanders
Nice.
from the freaking movie because some of the lyrics that I can catch in here. Somebody is going to lose their head at the end of this video.
Yeah.
I almost want to say that that's going to happen.
Someone's going to be dealing with Captain Stabbin. Oh, wait, that's something else. Speaking of your son's Pornhub
Subscription.
account. Yeah.
Captain Stabbin.
Who wants to live forever, Jesse? Not me, I'll tell you that
See,
right now.
that's the Queen song.
Yeah.
From the Highlander, Who Wants to Live Forever. Okay. I mean, I don't even have to look this up. I appreciate the reference and appreciate the fact they're doing a song about it.
I might have to give this band a deeper look.
I agree.
Highlander. Highlander.
I'm just going to say that they ought to think about moving the band. There's fire going on around there. I mean, they want to. There's a bit of a safety issue. Where are we putting up at? Let's do. I want fire and chains. Like the most unsafe environment. Can we get
This video was inspired by an Undertaker entrance.
all of a sudden? Did anybody lose their head? I guess not.
That's still right there of them back to back. That's what got me to pick this video.
Oh, very good.
All right. Thank you for showing us your Ren Fair band. All right, enough of that. All right, Jesse. It's time to play the game.
Oh, you ready to play the game?
It's all about the game and how you play it. Can we play the game with just me? Because I guess you were anticipating there'd be 2 of us tonight.
It's not a competition. I
Always a competition.
So okay, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about, last time we had the opportunity to sit down
Yeah.
and do a show. I is that when we created the song, or was that 2 shows ago? I can't remember.
No,
we
that
created.
was the last. So okay, Jesse,
Tell me a story, Mark. Tell me a story.
this is just between me and you.
Okay, and the internet. All right.
Don't tell anyone.
Okay.
Come closer.
Sure.
Okay. So there was an argument that took place a week or 2 ago.
An argument.
There was an argument that took place a week or 2 ago. And what came out of the argument was a demand to be treated better. And that demand to be treated better was met with a demand that I stop publicly shaming
Oh, come on.
someone.
Oh,
And I
geez.
said, if you can do the following things consistently, I will stop talking about you on podcasts. I will stop telling people you're a bad mom. And I went through this whole list of things, and I'm like, and I'll stop writing songs about you. And the look she gave me was like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, there's a song.
There's a song.
There's
There's
a song.
absolutely a song.
I mean, it's not necessarily about a particular person. It's a type of person. Is the evidence that I will give in court.
Still on my playlist, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
That's
there.
still
It's
on
there.
TikTok and Instagram. She's the
Yes,
queen of the night,
indeed.
Jesse.
Queen of the Night.
Is what the song is titled. And it's not about a particular person.
No.
However, I did say that I would not write any songs about a particular person. She behaved herself. All right, so we can go back to the show now. We can stop whispering.
Well, the point I was getting to was like the last time that we did this was over 2 months ago,
It was in January.
and things have changed since then in regards to Suno.ai. Most of the listeners out
what's
there are
changed? What's changed?
well, they've number one, I started paying for the service.
Oh my God.
so-
You're did you start making bets on like DraftKings and win some monies?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It is all my extra money from the DraftKings hey, I'm putting bets on just about anything. Afghani basketball.
That's
whatever.
right. Yeah.
Um,
Fucking, Chinese tennis.
Is Easter actually going to happen? Things like that. I just, I don't know. But so things after I started paying for it, number one, they give you an amount of credits that you can just, I at the end of the month, I'm sitting there now. I'm figuring out that I need to use these credits to just make random songs. They've also, this is Suno.ai. Just to let everybody know, we're talking about creating songs with artificial intelligence. We did that on the last episode. So I started paying for the service. It's like $10 a month. I am not in any way regretting parting with that money.
Mm-hmm.
They also have released a new version of the app or whatever you want to call it. This version 3 of song creation that you can do. And it's amazing. So now the game that kind of brings me to the game that we're going to be playing tonight. What I had learned, I'm involved in these communities with Suno, people who use Suno and do a bunch of different stuff with it. And I kind of learned how to prompt the song or create my own lyrics, whatever. I saw somebody had posted, and you may have seen this. I put it in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had posted a concept that they had, which was called the anti-song. So they would take the lyrics of a song,
Mm-hmm.
throw it in Chat GPT, and say, okay, I want this song, but I want the opposite of this song and keep the same structure of the song. And then they would take those lyrics of the anti-song and put it into Suno and create a song off of those opposite lyrics. So the game tonight will be, I've got 3 songs I've created, and we don't have to listen to all of this. We don't have to listen to all of these songs. You can stop whenever you can, but I'll tell you right now, at least let me go a minute and a half, 2 minutes on the first one, because it's going to be really easy. But your job is to guess what metal song and band this anti-song is. So the key thing that you have to remember is what is being said lyrically in these songs are opposite of what is happening in the actual song. And these 3 songs I picked are very popular metal songs. You're not going to have too much trouble with the first one. The second one, maybe, and the third one might be a stretch. But just remember, these are very popular metal songs. You can find them probably in the top 10, maybe top 20 of any metal list. So
the first one, Watchmen.
V for Vendetta.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I wish I could. I mean, if we had another half hour, I would sit here and tell you about all the fun stuff I've done with Suno but
Well, I think I told you we don't have an album pick for the next episode just yet, and we're going back to monthly. I made that promise that I gave February entirely to Jason Teasley, and I said, but after that, we are going back to, the regular rotation of people. I can't go more than a month without talking to Jesse Starcher. This is our virtual homo pile, and I can't live without it. But I said I think the next one we're just going to review one of Jesse's albums.
Oh my goodness! So yeah, just to let our listeners know, I have had a bad habit. My family
you have. Speaking of people being, I obsess over adult entertainment and gambling, and then there's Jesse. Like I wrote a song for the dump I took at lunch.
If we do my album, which is going to be great, I've created an album called Time to Eat, and all of it is just about me and what I'm having for dinner. But
get the fuck out of here! You did not,
dude. It's on SoundCloud right now.
Yeah,
you could go and listen to all. I've got 5 tracks now because I created an intro track today. No, you can't. They are my songs, but with SoundCloud, I've not looked into like how to monetize anything or do anything like that. So
you're missing out like a revenue stream here,
dude. First off, I've got to get some plays. I had actually one person like my.
Did you?
Yeah, I had one person like a track off of there, and I was like, "Is this a bot?" I don't know. But anyway, let me go ahead and share my screen. So I'm going to end up forgetting.
I want to hear more about this offline.
Okay. Okay.
You should put your music on TikTok like everybody else does.
Trust me, I've thought about it. The next source material that we do, that the mask is actually going to have brand new intro music with lyrics created by Stuno. So, I was pretty proud of it. Sarcastic punk is the genre.
Here's my question to you. What happened to the gag reel? Did you just like, fuck it, I'm leaving it all in from now on?
It was legitimately 30 seconds long.
Okay.
We weren't cracking wise on the fucking, Jim Gordon podcast that we were doing. There were a few like instances, but legitimately 30 seconds. I was like, okay, well, and it just didn't seem like we could do a whole lot.
Yeah, I don't know, like what happened to us. Can I tell you? I got cornered by Ronnie not that long ago, where he was like,
really?
I just want to go back to the days where it was me, you, and Jesse, and I'm like, okay, but we do that. We're reviewing Sons of Anarchy. I know, but we used to do that weekly. I'm like, I'm not stopping you. The fuck.
I threw Ronnie a bone a long time ago. I was like, dude, let me know. Let's talk some comics.
Yeah,
I didn't hear anything. The man. I understand. Sometimes you forget about things too, and that's all right. But I'm here.
I don't.
All right, I'm sharing my screen. I don't know if
share that screen. Oh yeah, I see it.
Okay, and is it share my audio? I can't remember if I have to do that or if it. No, I see it. Never mind. Mute screen audio's down there. No, we're not going to mute it. All right, so here we go. I'm hopping into my Suno.
Okay.
And I'm going to play for you. I've got a playlist here already. It's called Anti-Songs. The one that I sent into the chat, I did a opposite song of boy, I'm not sharing this. Hold on, I'm gonna have to. I forgot it opened up another tab. Give me a second. Present. Oh, there we go.
Fucking amateur hour over here, buddy.
Yeah, well, what the fuck ever. Like any other web page would actually go to a different web page, but no, it opens up a whole different tab. So anyway, I created a song called "The Power of Hate," which is aptly an anti-song of "The Power of Love" from Back to the Future.
Sure.
All right. Oh, right. Sure. All right. Here we go. First song. I'm calling it EEM. And because I don't want to title it what it is, because you'll know it immediately. But here you go, Mark. We'll play 2 minutes of this song, and I think it ended up being 3. You see what you can figure out. All right.
All right.
Here we go. EEM.
So distant, yet right where we are. Could be much more from the start. Never doubting who we are. And everything else matters. Always kept myself.
All right, I got it. Nothing else matters.
You are correct. Here, let me just play a little bit more.
I didn't realize it was going to be that goofy.
Oh, if you notice over here, you can put the genre, whatever you want.
Yeah.
And that's going to get interesting here in a few seconds.
But
this
I can't
one
really
was
see it on the screen. What's
it's
the genre?
Friendly kids music is what I put for the genre here. And as you can tell, wait till we hit the chorus. I mean, let me
day by day, all the moment a chance for something new. Open hearts for a broader view, and everything else matters. Caring deeply for what they do, understanding what they know. Yes, I know.
Anyway, so the lyrics of this are, I said be opposite, and there's a lot of similarities. So I don't think
when you're doing this, what could you be doing?
What could I be doing?
What could you be doing that your wife wants you to be doing? Like rubbing her feet or the dishes or mowing the lawn or going to like a swap meet or an Ollie's. It's like, is there something
There's
that
a whole song I already created about that, Mark. I created that song already. It's called Oh Jess, and it has everything that my wife wants me to do instead of doing this.
Okay.
Rub my feet, scratch my back.
And I'm just wondering, when you were coming up with this, was she like, I needed you to do XYZ, and you did this instead, you bastard?
No, trust
me.
Go
live in your son's pocket, you motherfucker.
You got to think, okay, to be clear, all I did was take the lyrics of Nothing Else Matters from the Metallica.
Yes, that was very apparent.
Threw it into like I said, this one was easy, but threw it into ChatGPT and it spat out something. I had the song within 30 seconds.
Right.
Putting the song together probably took me about, 15 minutes. That's because what will happen is it'll generate sections of the song and you have to pick which one you want. We did that before. All right. So you got the first one. Good job. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Now it's going to get a little tougher as we get into a song that I like to title, or I did title, Embrace. Here we go. The genre, by the way, energetic bluegrass with a little bit of fiddle.
Oh.
You see, I'm filled with joy by your persistence. One step from reaching out to you. You're welcome in to share my joy. Call yourself a friend. Got more room for friends like you. What a dream come true. Is there no limit to love's door? Who you are, where you've been, let's explore. You can be everything you dream. Embrace yourself. With others, come close to me. A lesson learned in life, echoed through eternity deep. And you all share. What did you say? Love share. Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?
Got it. This is Pantera.
Yes.
This is Walk.
Very good.
So what was the actual title?
The title's called Embrace.
How is embrace the opposite of walk?
Well, what are you telling people to do? You're telling people to get the fuck out of here, right?
That's true. Walk away. Yeah.
Yeah. The whole
walk
song.
on home, boy.
Yes. Yes. Let me play the end of this because that is in here, but you've got to hear the end. Let me see if I can get it to the right spot. All right, here we go.
Love share. Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? Walk with love, my friend.
Walk with love, my friend. Is the end of that.
Oh, that's fan-fucking-tastic.
Good job, man. I thought was going to be really tough.
Well, it's funny because as soon as I heard a lesson learned, I'm like, oh, this is Pantera, and I'm trying to think, and because I'm trying to listen to the song, but I'm also trying to remember what Pantera song this is. So I knew it was Pantera right at that point Because like a lesson learned in life. Read. Spec. Rob Van Dam. Walk. I got it.
Yes, love, share. Love, share.
There.
What did you say?
Wonderful.
All right, last one. This one is titled Harmony's Embrace, which, you know, hey, it's not affiliated with Pantera in any way, but Harmony's Embrace. Okay, would you like to know the genre of this one? Okay, the prompt, I should say. Smooth funk, flute, and hand claps. All right.
I like
That
to do a
is-
hand clap.
Here we go.
I know my faith, it guides my way. I talk to God without dismay. I follow rules, the system sounds a chord. I'll never be bound. I'm always early, that's no issue. My punctuality, I value. My bills get paid without delay. There's no responsibility, I obey. There's no new way that I pursue. Old truths have always rung true. I'm steady as rocks, don't need a shift. Chicanas are my gift.
Well, there's that flute.
To all people I am kind. Malice has no place in my mind. To lead this nation,
It is
I was
adorable
born
how
of
cute, how
serving
freaking, like,
others.
you're, like,
I'm not torn. We the people.
It is adorable how much you're
truth
rocking
I
out to your own
know.
music.
Democracy
all
makes
day.
us grow. There's no new way that I pursue. Old truths have always rung true. I'm steady as rocks, don't need a shift. Traditional values are my gifting. Can you put a price on harmony? Harmony, it's priceless, you see. Harmony reigns in my heart.
Pretty tough. Told you.
From it, I'll never be priceless, you see. Harmony. Harmony reigns. Yes, harmony reigns. Yes, harmony reigns. Yes, harmony reigns. Yes, harmony reigns.
No clue. Like, first of all, that's my favorite one you've done so far. That sounds like a really fun song. That's good. I was wondering, like, I wonder if I'm gonna get like an earworm, and I'm gonna be humming these the next day or so at work. And you nailed it. That was
good
good.
stuff.
Harmony reigns.
That's good stuff.
But I can't.
All right.
I was thinking Slayer maybe, but I was like, no, because I got caught up on the Reigns thing. But
Right.
what is it?
Right. So this is Megadeth's Peace Sells.
See, I wish Cooper was here because I bet he would have caught that.
I know that he
Because I
would
was
have
thinking,
actually-
I was like, I bet he picked Megadeth again. Because
yeah.
you went for the obvious ones, which is fine. But I was like, okay, but this has got. But the problem is, I'm not at like I know Peace Sells, but not enough to have picked up what like the
No.
lyrics of it, like the first two.
Let's see, the point where he's talking about. Remember, I think in the middle of the song, he's talking about, I wish I had the lyrics in front of me. Instead, I have the opposite lyrics of it. But I'm always early. That's no issue. My punctuality, I value. My bills get paid without delay. Fiscal responsibility, I obey. I'm just like, okay. All right. But yeah, at the end where it's Peace Sells, who's buying, it's
You're like
yes, harmony
the
reigns.
white David Allen Greer. Like you're like the white Don No Soul Simmons. I always do my homework. You're like, with that joke about like, non-threatening rap. Do the dishes for your mom.
Right.
Take those
To lead
shoes
this
off.
nation, I was born of serving others. I'm not torn. We the people is a truth I know. Democracy makes us grow.
Have you heard my kids rant on G.I. Joe?
I did not. What did he have to say?
He was like, what was funny about this was we did a whole skit where like I knock on my daughter's door and she's like, I don't know where he is, please leave me alone. And then I thanked her for being in the skit that she didn't want to be in. I turn around and he's in the bathroom. He's on the toilet.
Okay.
And he's got his pants up. Don't get me wrong.
All right.
All
right.
This isn't a Kevin Smith movie. I'm not watching him pee. But he's on the toilet. He's like, "Oh, you found me in my thinking area." And he was just like, "You know how G.I. Joe says knowing is half the battle? Well, what's the other half? It has to be guns, right? Because just knowing what your enemy is doing is not going to win it for you. You have to kill him, and you need guns to kill him." Like,
That's brilliant.
like the original punchline, which is like, "So what is the other half of the battle? Heavy artillery?" Dude, I fucking died.
That's good stuff.
That's quality stand-up right there. But the funniest thing was like he ran out of bit. So he was like, so he just gets up and walks off. He's like, "America." Here's what everyone focused on. Okay. Not how witty my son is, not how smart my son is, not what a genius he is. The fact that nobody in this fucking crack house cleans the toilet. So it's way beyond stained. And Pat Mullen, right there to pop an insult that against a child, was like, "Who's shitting that too? Like, would they pour a whole thing of miso soup in there?" And then another guy on Instagram was just like, he's like, "I know what the other half of the bottle is, a cleanly bathroom." Jesus Christ. Like, we focus on the cute child. Nope, let's focus on our derelict cleaning.
No, we need something to criticize immediately.
Yes. Well, Jesse, we've reached the end of our show here, but we do have one video left. Unfortunately, Robert Cooper has not been able to leave his job. He's still helping illegal immigrants cross the border in North Carolina.
He tried to get out of that at one point, and they just sucked him right back in. He's still doing it.
So, but because I programmed it into the schedule tonight, we're going to play one more video. We're going to play his video, and then we'll get out of here. We got out of here in less than 3 hours. So it might be a record.
Wow. Look out.
Like, I always know because us verbose motherfuckers are going to go 2 hours on this show. But like the last couple have been really long, like excessively long. And I can't get enough Jesse Starcher, and any woman that knows me needs to know that. However, I do have to go to bed at some point. So
same.
I might be thinking about Jesse Starcher and the giant homo pile, but I still have to go to bed.
I'll be thinking about Gomer Pile. It's going to be crazy.
Weird. That's what you think about when you go. That's what you think about.
Helps me go to sleep.
Yeah, you're just naked in bed next to your wife, and you're thinking about Gomer Pile.
Shazam!
You say that?
Yeah, all the time.
Like, right before you finish, just Shazam!
Well, golly!
She finishes before you. That's what you say. Golly!
Oh man!
I don't need to see it, but I kind of want to hear it now.
I'm a freak in the what is it? How's it go? Freak in the streets or no? No, I can't remember. But anyway, I'm a Gomer
in the streets and the freak in the sheets.
Gomer in the sheets. So how's that?
Gomer in the sheets.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be all right. I need a recording. just
not happening.
Jesse, you kinky bastard, why are you recording us? Because Mark is weird.
Yeah. Podcast.
Don't worry about it. I'm making a song.
That's perfect.
All right. That loudness was Immortal, Call of the Winter Moon. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let me put the video there. There we go. I wish I had Robert here to explain this, but, whatever. It is what it is. So our last video of the night before we get out of here is Immortal, Call of the Winter Moon.
Didn't he say that he was using this for Black Metal Month? Is that what it was? Is this one? Celebrating Black Metal Month with...
And once again, we are doing home footage of black metal kids running through a forest.
What VHS hell did this come out of? Wow.
This is someone's LARPing session.
This has got to be some old, clearly it's 4.3, so it's got to be 90s.
Yeah. Yet again,
if they did this on purpose, if this is a filter, fantastic. Oh my gosh, he's got a wizard hat.
You notice that the first 30 seconds?
No, I did not. I did not know. It's the Black Metal Clan.
This is why jocks beat us up, Jesse.
Well, I mean, you turn to your comforts at that point, which is black metal, I guess. As you
And
lick your
breathing
wounds.
fire and running around in a wizard's hat
Sure.
and making half a retard face.
I don't understand. This is all like, okay, grab the camera, Jim. No,
This is yet
actually,
another... Go ahead.
see, you this is one of those guys' dad is manning the camera. That's what's happening.
And he totally drove him there too in the minivan. So what I've been trying to say for the past 12 hours is yet another example of why we should be like directing music videos.
Yeah.
I have to imagine we have to come up with something better than this.
I mean, this is, you know, they better be careful. Smokey the Bear might have an issue with that torch in the middle of the forest.
Only you can prevent black metal and forest fires.
There you go. I hope everybody looks at everybody at least once in the video. That's what there's a lot to be said.
This is called Call of the Winter Moon. It should be called Mugging at the Camera.
Not one fucking moon have I seen so far yet. I would pay money just to see some snow and these guys drop their pants. But that's...
Oh my god, the Tarja fucking review still cracks me up. I see one fucking snowman in the video.
Oh, these guys aren't looking at their hands enough to be compared to Tarja.
Why are we doing like weird poses?
Oh, there it is! The moon!
There you go.
Appeared.
There's your winter moon. Oh, look, it's snow.
This is what I came here for. It's winter, obviously.
Where the fuck are they? Like,
what are we? Is this fading into like? Wow, yeah, that had to have been taken off of somebody's VHS tape.
Yeah. So they're showing a commercial here for the Amon Amarth show. I should probably stop sharing now. All right. Stop. So Tyson Fury was supposed to fight Alexander Usyk in February, but Tyson Fury got cut while sparring, and I'm not allowed to complain about it, or Robert Winfrey will beat me up. I'm also not allowed to complain about Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson because I once said the circus was good for boxing. I didn't mean like the homo humping Slobo babe circus. I didn't mean like
what fucking circus is that?
the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, or as I like to call it, the hobo humping Slobo babe circus. Have you ever seen that video? By the way,
you're referencing something. I have no idea what you're referencing.
You've never heard, and you've never seen hobo humping Slobo babe.
No, never have.
All right, yes, I know it's been a long time since I've done this to you.
What is this?
I know it's been a long time since we've rock and rolled.
It's been 1 week.
1 week since you looked at me, Jesse.
Immediately went to YouTube to find a video.
Do you remember back in the day where I would hold you hostage?
I do.
And you would complain about we would. I would say, "Have you heard this?" And you would stupidly say no, and I would go, "Oh my god, Jesse!" And then just like go completely tangential. We could do that now.
It's a thing that can be done.
It'll quench you.
I haven't watched. What was it?
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Airbender.
Yeah. All right.
Gotcha.
So Jesse, this is a song from the 90s. And I love this fucking song. This song is fantastic. The video is pretty good too. This is Whale doing Hobo Humpin' Slobo Babe. And I swear to God, I just want you to watch it. I want you to have some fun with me because we're all about fun here on the Radulich Broadcasting Network. So watch Hobo Humpin' Slobo Babe. And think about Jake Paul fighting 60-year-old, octogenarian Mike Tyson.
Okay.
And then we'll go into plugs. How's that sound?
Sure. That sounds great.
All right, here we go. The greatest song ever written, Hobo Humpin' Slobo Babe by Whale.
Hobo Humpin' Slobo Babe.
You hobo humpin' Slobo Babe. Yeah. Look at them penises.
Oh, goodness. Oh, my. So what genre we got here? Like some alternative rock?
Yeah, which I hate that term, but yes.
Oh, he hates
Here
it.
comes the hotness. Here comes your girlfriend right there, Jesse.
Goodness.
Look at her.
She's kind of hot.
Oh yeah, she's checking out the man meat. This was a buzz clip back in its day. I'm really surprised you've never seen this before, because this was like popular on MTV for a little bit. He tried to get himself a touch, a bit of a feel.
What's the what year? Whoa, what year?
You would ask me that.
Yeah, well, I'll give you something to do while I'm watching this.
Okay.
That girl still got her. Yeah. What in the world?
Oh wait, no. Humpin' Slow-Mo Babe, get it up. All right, let me tell you about Hobo Humpin' Slow-Mo Babe.
Tell me all about it.
It's a song recorded by Swedish alternative rock band Whale, released in 1993 by Warner Brothers Records at East West as the debut single from the band's first album.
Wow, this is debut single off their first album.
Yeah,
it obviously made an impression with you.
And baby, we don't love you. Hobo Humpin' Slow-Mo Babe was played frequently on MTV and was also awarded the first ever MTV Europe Music Awards for Best Video in 1994. Take that, Jesse Starcher.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
This thing charted. This was in an episode of Beavis and Butthead, and it was referenced.
That does not surprise me.
And it was referenced in a Minecraft splash text. I don't know what that means.
A Minecraft splash text?
I don't know what any of that is.
That I would assume is what they kind of throw across the screen as the game's loading, which is crazy. But then again, I guess I shouldn't say that because I think the creator of Minecraft is from Sweden. I'd have to look that up. Don't quote me on that. By all means, do not comment.
Sasha Jenkins from Vibe wrote, I can remember a time about a year ago when my local request to video station was blazing over and over again with the mindlessly juvenile escapades of this naive-looking, lusty, churning chanteuse and these two dudes who jumped up and down around her like they were playing some frantic game of one-on-one with the girl's head serving as rim and backboard. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff.
Oh, Jesse, you are my Hobo Humpin' Slow-Mo Babe.
What in the world? So how long is Whale still around?
I just closed the fucking Wikipedia.
What
page.
are you doing? Close to the. I've got questions.
You know what? We'll talk about it on the next show.
No,
We'll do like we did with
we'll
our.
remember that a month later.
I might. I forget nothing. Yeah, half naked men. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should play this for my son. He'd get a kick out of it.
This needs to be a karaoke.
Yes.
Special.
I definitely have to get my son to do karaoke. Hobo Humpin' Slow-Mo Babe.
So okay,
maybe I can like parody this video. It'll be like Jonas and Trey and Tyler, and it'll be like Jonas in the role of the girl, and then Trey and the other guy just jumping around him.
So okay, Spotify. Spotify has Whale's popular songs number 1 with 3,640,000 plays. Hobo Humpin' Slow-Mo Babe.
Yes, sir.
Number 2. Would you like to guess, not the song, but just try and guess the amount of listens the number 2 song has out of the popular plays here?
600,000.
235,000. Which is a song off the same album, it looks like, called Pay For Me. Their album.
Talk about this band in America.
I was going to say this. I have a feeling that this is a one-hit wonder.
It really was. Like, this song was huge. I just said it. They played it all over MTV. This was a buzz clip. Everyone knew this song. They played it in the clubs that I went moshing at when I was a kid, and then nobody ever heard of this fucking band again.
Yeah, 1998, they had their second album, All Disco Dance Music, I guess is what that's called. It's probably a longer title. And then after that, there were 2 singles that were dropped, but nothing else is on Spotify, I should say. It may be a situation where they just haven't put those albums on, but regardless. Well, I've learned something tonight. I learned about
baby, what's your picks?
Well, my goodness, I learned about Whale. I learned about the Slow-mo babes and so
Slow-mo
you were
homopile babes.
yes, all of that. So I guess it is time for plugs now.
Plug 1, plug tune in. All right. On Sunday, it was a rescheduled show from the previous Tuesday because Sean's internet went hobo humping slow-mo babe. So, while the ex, I have a coworker who says I'm not allowed to refer to Melissa as my ex because we're not officially divorced. I think that's bullshit. But so my estranged.
Last time I checked, you were the one that was married to her, so I think you can call her whatever you want.
So my toaster oven, through a game night on Sunday, and the Oscars were on, but I didn't care about any of that. Well, I did care about the Oscars, but I didn't care about the game night. Instead, I did a podcast with my good friend Sean Comer, and we talked The Great Gatsby by Baz Luhrmann there, and Jesse Starcher. What do you think about that?
Looked, yeah, I saw you guys were talking about that. That looked pretty interesting.
Have you ever seen The Great Gatsby?
Never.
You're missing out. Baz Luhrmann is a revelation. So good.
Oh, good.
So we did an on trial for The Great Gatsby, and me and you did this tonight and tomorrow because we wanted to change the day to accommodate Mr. Zach Strobel, who's today is his birthday, and he didn't want to podcast on his birthday because he's not a dork. So yeah. Like, we've all done that. Like I want to be with my friends and podcast on my birthday because I don't have no other friends. Yeah. And Zach Strobel, like, I'm pimp of the year. Zach Strobel, I don't know if you know this or not, but Zach Strobel told his bitch that she better have his money.
Really?
Rain, sleet, or so. Zach Strobel told his bitch that she better have his money.
Wow.
Shakespeare. He put his foot dead up in her ass. Anyway,
so I'm confused. Like, did he actually? Is this a relationship issue that I am actually privy to now?
No, or it's a bit from I'm gonna get you, sucker, you uncultured swine.
Surprised. I was like, man, I didn't know that about Zach. My goodness,
Zach keeps his pimp hand strong.
All I know about Zach is that he's going to be on Wheel of Fortune soon. Just you damn well better be ready for it.
He's gonna slap the shit out of Pat Sajak with powder.
Pat say smack.
We're ready to play Wheel of Fortune. Oh yeah, come with it. Smack the shit out of him. Vanna White's gonna have handprints of powder on her ass.
Whoa, Zach, slow down, brother.
I don't even know if Vanna White or Pat Sajak still do Wheel of Fortune. By the way, that might be like a way dated joke.
We might be old.
we might be. It's all right. So we still get the young girlies, Jesse.
Oh,
we get the young girlies.
You're
married ass.
I can't relate.
All right. Speaking of relating, Zach Strobel, Alexis Hana, and Robert Winfrey and I will be reviewing Kung Fu Panda because it was Kung Fu fighting. By the way, you want to freak kids out who were born in the wokeverse and everything is a racism? Do this shit right here. Everybody was Kung Fu fighting.
Oh, there it is. The fucking YouTube just lit on fire. Like, why would you fucking do that?
I was doing the movie theaters. My daughter around waiting for my son to come out of the bathroom. I'm like, everybody was
no. No.
There was a conversation that took place about why that movie wasn't in Kung Fu Panda, and it was decided because it's a racism.
Very good possibility.
I think after 2 hours,
you shouldn't have been in Kung Fu Panda because of a racism.
Welcome to casual misogyny and mild racism.
Al Jourgensen is going to write a song about us.
I hope so. Right, using artificial intelligence.
He's just worked his way up this whole time. We're on the list. We are on the list that he has. Oh, there it is.
All right,
Metal Hammer of Doom.
Asshole white male podcasters. Here we go.
I've got a song just for them.
Anyway, so we're going to be reviewing a mild racism. I mean, Kung Fu Panda 4. We'll be reviewing Kung Fu Panda 4 tomorrow night on Damn You Hollywood, or whenever you're listening to this, Tuesday night in the year of our Lord 2024. On Thursday, myself and Pat Mullen, we were supposed to be doing a triple feature, but we can't find Spice World or Satisfaction, and we didn't want to bother Jesse to go on the high seas to put it on Plex. So instead, So instead, we're just going to do an on trial for Josie and the Pussycats. It's going to be hilarious. Last week, we reviewed the new Dune. David Wright was there. And what else did we do? Oh, and Jonas did an excellent job. I really mean this. He did an outstanding job on Alexis's podcast. They reviewed Avatar: The Last Airbender from Netflix. Andrew Orozco was there. The guy that was on the Best Animated Shorts, Damn You Hollywood with Alexis, Diego something or other, was on there. But my son, genius as he is, he was awesome, Jesse. Just fantastic. Good. He said they did Sacco wrong, and and that's fine.
I was waiting. I had a feeling he would probably correct them if they screwed up anywhere.
Oh yeah, Alexis asked, was like, "Hey, is there anything you didn't like about this show?" And Jonas whipped out a fucking scroll. He was like, "I have complaints." But I was on a hot date with the future ex Mrs. Radulich at the time, so I didn't hear it until later. But he did a good job. That clip's on YouTube. That clip's on TikTok right now, and I'm on TikTok, Jesse, and at Mark Radulich on TikTok. Where have I told you the conversation with Grandpa Dune Edition is now over 10,000 views?
Wow.
Yeah, I went viral. Or rather, my father and my son went viral. I'm just holding the camera.
You hold the camera.
I'm Martin Scorsese. My son and my father are De Niro and DiCaprio.
Man, are you the reason they're banning TikTok? Is that what's going on? What's going on there?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so.
Yes, the reason cited by Congress to ban TikTok was because Mark Radulich has big dick energy.
Oh man, I knew it.
Renaming the podcast, by the way, Big Dick Energy Network.
Dude, how many fucking renames are we going to have? This has been one episode. You've renamed this podcast like 6 times.
Well, the Casual Misogynist started a few weeks ago.
Oh, that's right. You're renaming the network. My bad. It's the network you're renaming right now. Okay.
We're going to rename Damn You Hollywood the Casual Misogynist.
Brilliant.
Yep.
Brilliant.
All right, Mr. Polite Toxic Masculinity.
That's me.
Tell us
I'm not about the homo pile, but if I have to be in one, I'll be okay.
Jesse's casually in homo piles. If what happens to fall upon me, who am I to resist?
I cannot be here. I don't want to make anybody else uncomfortable.
I don't want to be at the bottom of a bunch of naked men, but I don't want to insult anyone and hurt their feelings. So I'll just lay here.
Last thing I want to do is upset somebody's feelings.
Right.
So, okay. Today,
there's nothing wrong with mild sodomy. Please keep going. Stop letting me do this to you.
Last week, Mark Radulich and myself finished out our trilogy on the Source Material Comics podcast. It's over there on the Source Material Comics feed where we discuss comics. That's right. And Mark Radulich and myself, like I said, finished up a trilogy on Jim Gordon. We did Batman. Nope. Well, it was called Batman GCPD.
They were all Batmans. That's Batman, Gordon of Gotham,
Batman
Gordon's Law, and Batman GCPD. And
Batman's in the title.
Batman's collectively in all 3 of these books for 2 pages.
Yeah. Batman's in the title only. It was those 3 books, which was great examination of Jim Gordon and what he some of the stuff that the other people of Gotham have to deal with, the little people. So it was a good discussion. We had recording. It's going to be airing the first episode next week, where Mark and I got together to talk about The Mask. And this ain't your Jim Carrey mask, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Mask of the Comics, which was a violent and brutal representation of I don't even want to call it a hero. I mean, this is a villain in our first book. So check that out. That'll be airing next Monday. And then today, I think the Unspoken Issues dropped Ghosts of Innocence, which is a Punisher book. If you have the chance to read it, it was pretty good. Imagine it's basically a book about Frank Castle making a stupid mistake as the Punisher and killing a bunch of kids on a school bus.
Yikes.
And it's written by Jim Starlin, of all people. If you're Infinity Gauntlet guy, or if you're into the cosmic warlock stuff, he wrote Street Level every once in a while, and he got together and did this book. It was back in the mid 90s, 93, I think is what it was. But anyway, get a chance, read that. It's pretty good. So that's all I have going on, except for the fact that Snap material will be airing this week. That's right. Mark, you know, Strip Snap, or as everybody else knows, Snap material, where Evan Bevins and I get together and we talk Marvel Snap. That's airing this week. We're getting ready for the new season. I've got the episodes already recorded. We recorded last night. Just got to get it edited up. So that's it. That's all I got on my plate.
All right, folks. Thank you for joining us again. Dude, even without Robert Cooper, 2.5 hours. We are some loving, talking, verbose motherfuckers.
I blame Whale.
When all else fails, blame the hobo humping slobo babe. All right. Well, hobo humping slobo baby is the phrase that pays. So that's it for Jesse Starcher. I'm Big Dick Energy Mark Radulich. Be well, be safe, and behave.